Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to our Friday night live stream, which tonight is the first in what is likely to be a series of Pixels and Platforms live deeper dives. And tonight we're going to be starting with a special free train related game. But before we get on to more about what the series is and what the game is we're looking at tonight, it's first time to do the hellos, how do you do's, and the news, of course. Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. We need a train whistle, and Fran the Man has noticed, Fran the Man has noticed, we do have a game giveaway. I'll mention that in a second, but Laura Lil, here's your train whistle. Fantastic, there we go. So yes, if you're not familiar, hello, I am Master Hellish and welcome to my channel. Here we do trains and transport and all sorts of tycoony good stuff as well, often with a bit of a retro twist, but not always. Now, I have done lots of different videos recently, but you're gonna have to go on the channel and check them all out because I haven't updated my screen. This is all out of date. In fact, we'll get back to that in a minute. We'll get back to that in a minute. That's just a list that we don't need. There we go. And well, actually, that's the list I'm using now. It's my what to say when I start a live stream list. But yes, we are going to be getting on with some gaming sometime soon. We got a whistle. Yes, you like the whistle. I'm glad you liked the whistle. Now, monthly giveaway. That's what's been popping up in the bottom corner of the screen down here. Because it is the first of the month, we've got a brand new monthly giveaway, and that is for a Populous GOG bundle. So if you want to be within a chance of winning a bundle of Populous games on GOG, enter the giveaway at portal.masterhellish.net. Okay, next up, what have we got? Oh, so this coming Monday, we will not be having a community gaming night because we're going to be having an open TTD viewers game. Now, the community gaming nights will resume the Monday after, and we'll be doing some Beyond All Reason. So, get over to my Discord and have a look at the community gaming nights channel to get involved with that. Bearing in mind, Beyond All Reason is free, and we don't have a limit on how rubbish you are at the game to join in. And then, like I mentioned, we've got a open TTD viewers game. Thank you very much to the little team of people that's been working with me to get this one up and running. More information on them and what they've done and what the game is on Monday. But for now, let's just say thanks to them. We've got a pretty interesting and special game lined up for Monday. So if you want to take part in the viewers game that's going to be happening Monday, you need to be on my Discord 15 minutes before the stream starts. Okay, so 15 minutes before the stream starts. And that's pretty much most of the news, apart from we are now doing a charity background fundraiser. That's right, it is now May, the 1st of May, and that's why we've got a brand new monthly giveaway on the go. And all throughout May, we're going to be supporting a charity, and that charity is Mind. So let's see if this new button works. There we go, May for Mind. So if you have some spare cash lying around and you've already purchased your Viewer Plus subscription, you can go to justgiving.com/page/Maymind and you can do a donation there. We'll be talking more about Mind, the charity, the work that they do, and also a few topics around that throughout the streams throughout May. Tonight, it's a little bit more of a gentle introduction. It's just like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, okay? We'll talk a little bit more about the charity in different streams, but what we'll probably do is spend a couple of minutes each stream talking a little bit about the fundraiser at some point. So we'll see how this fundraiser goes. And if you want to know why I'm doing it different this year, I did a social media post and a Discord post in the announcements channel about why we're doing it like this. So we'll have a little bit more of a look at that a little later in the future. And I think that's most of the news and stuff. So how are you all doing? It looks like you're all doing good. Simulator Adventure says, I can't believe it's 12 years since the first viewers game. I know, Jackamak, it's been some time. There's been a long time and we've done a lot of things. And tonight what we're doing is a brand new thing. I think this is the first time I've done this sort of setup where I've done a video about something, and then I've done a live stream, or this is a live stream now, as an extension of the video. So if we look here in the in recent videos, we've got other recent videos, but I wanted to point this one out, right? This was a Pixels and Platforms series video, and it was a video all about the game, the Steam Revolution, The Age of Rail, right? And it's free. It's free on Steam. And it's a very interesting train game because it's very different. Yes. I've done live streams first and video series afterwards, and I've done live stream series and I've done video series. But the idea with this series is we're going to take these videos and we're going to take the most interesting ones from the Pixels and Platforms video series, and then we're going to do an extension of them as a live stream. Friend the man, I haven't actually got a plan on announcing donations and stuff. Maybe we'll just check it and see how it goes. Maybe it's a background fundraiser. So halfway through the stream, we'll have a look at see how things are going on, and we'll do some call outs then. And this particular Pixels and Platforms video did quite well in a number of ways. First of all, it performed quite well as a video, which is always nice. Second of all, I was advised it actually made a lot of people go and get the game. Loads of people went and got it, apparently, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So, shall we spin up the game and have a look and see what it's all about and see if we can do a bit more of a deeper dive? Or shall we find out a little bit more about the game? Would you guys like to hear a little bit more about Steam Revolution, The Age of Rail? Yeah? Because I think it's a good opportunity to have a word with one of the developers. Should we do that? I think that would be quite nice if we did that, wouldn't it? Okay, let's see if we can do that. All right, I'm gonna start a call, and we're gonna find out what happens. Here we go. The live stream title is very short, yes. Right, ready to start call. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get in a call. Let's see if we can get all the audio settings working. We all know how funny Discord can be with audio devices sometimes. Let's see if this works. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and it looks like Stream can hear you as well. Hello.
Awesome.
Would you like to just briefly introduce yourself? Who are we hearing on Stream right now?
Yeah, my name's Josiah Manson, and it was a little bit funny hearing you call me one of the developers, because actually I'm the only developer.
Sorry, slip of the tongue. Yep.
But yeah, I basically have been working on this game for about 10 years or so. And basically it was inspired actually by OpenTTD. So I had started playing OpenTTD and I quite enjoyed it. And one of the things that had really drawn me in was trying to figure out the signals and how that all worked. And then the sort of like the complexity and the sort of interesting interactions that come from the trains with that.
It's quite interesting to hear you say about some of the inspiration for the game and where it came from, because to me, there's some very big fundamental differences to the way your game works and the kind of mechanics of the gameplay loop itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I wanted to try and explore some different concepts. And also I took some inspiration from, I don't know if you've heard of like Zachtronics, and there's like Space Chem and Opus Magnum and stuff like that. So the inspiration from that is like, okay, the trains are a cool system, right? But OpenTTD, once you get past the first little bit, there's not really much constraint in terms of like the money. And so it tends to feel quite quickly that you're imposing your own restrictions on the game in terms of how I'm going to try and build a solution.
Yeah, you're very right there. That's a big challenge for me when I'm working with the game, and when we're playing viewers games like we're going to be doing on Monday night, we have to come up with something interesting, something different that's going to make the game kind of be interesting beyond, get my first route in, okay, my company's now in profit, now I can do whatever I like, I've got plenty of money sort of situation.
Yeah, exactly. And I recall seeing that you're doing some sort of series where you're trying to build connections between everything instead of having separate lines, for example. And
Yeah.
so these are a type of things that you need to do to make the impose some sort of like constraints and challenge on it. But I was thinking that it would make a lot more sense if the game itself imposed some sort of constraint on what is a good solution or not.
Hmm.
And so, in that sort of aspect,
Oh, sorry. We just lost sound. We just lost sound. Bear me a second. There we go. Everybody's like, somebody press the alarm. We got lost audio. All right. Okay. I think
were you
we
able
fixed
to
it.
hear me still?
We fixed it now. No, they lost you for about like I think about 15 seconds there. So if you just want to
Okay,
just
but
pick up from there.
you were able to hear me, but the stream wasn't able to.
That's right. Yeah.
Gotcha. Right. So the idea is that you have some sort of metric that you try and optimize, and then the way that that metric is designed should be such that it induces interesting solutions in your optimal solution. So that, for example, by considering the cost of the track and the cost being like reasonably expensive for a piece of track, that you then want to share track between different lines
Hmm.
naturally. And yeah, so that's sort of the idea. And then as well, like you mentioned, that it has a bit of a different feel in terms of just like even how like the tracks are drawn and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to try some different things. Like I didn't love sort of the snapping mechanics that exist in some games, and I didn't love being purely tile based like in OpenTTD where it feels a little bit clumsy to draw the tracks. And so I wanted to try something different, but it's like, the risk is it's so different that, maybe people won't really quite get it and they'll sort of bounce off of it.
Yeah. Well, I've got the game up in the background now. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my scene because I'm trying to get it to fit. DJ Egg says, "Yeah, I had to log in first. My moderators were trying to get to the SOS button when they lost sound. I think every single one of the moderators forgot that there's a special URL that allows them to activate the SOS without needing to go to the website. And I bet that half of them are going, oh, yeah, there is that now. Never mind. We're all right. We got the sound back and we're all good. And I've managed to set the scene up, so there we go. We did not know that. Right. I think it's pinned. I think it's pinned in there. But anyway, it's clicker to log into the URL. No, because you can set the URL up as a bookmark and then just hit the bookmark, and it'll immediately do an SOS without even going anywhere else. Anyway, we have in the background here the game. One of the things that I noticed about the game was that even though, yes, there are sort of tiles, they're not like tiles which we would know it in many games like OpenTTD, Locomotion, maybe even Machinki if my memory is correct. There is actually a proper flow and rolling to the landscape, which is quite nice. And during my video, I did what did I do? I did a first look, and we did the Bristol level, and there was lots of things that I really. If I enter the level now, I don't know if it will show me. Yeah, it'll show me where I got to and what I was up to, and there were so many things that I liked about it, and I had some feedback. And one of the amazing things is that you've already integrated most of the feedback that I mentioned into the game. I think one of them was you didn't have a zoom to mouse. Now you have a zoom to mouse, and for me, I don't know what other people think in chat, but for me, that's fantastic.
Yeah, actually, zoom to mouse was already there, but yeah, you did have some other feedback that I then incorporated.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I've
when
been
it's
looking.
like a tooltip and key bindings. Actually,
Oh
the key
yeah,
bindings
yeah,
was a pretty major thing.
yeah. So I can go to the options now and see what we got in here. So we've got edit bindings. Look at this. We've got a full rack of different key bindings and stuff in here now. That is really good. And if we hover over the X, it says close this window, hotkey escape. Which all these brilliant features, and it's so good to have a feedback loop between the community and developers and actually be able to have that input and help where. I mean, I've done development before, and I don't know whether this is true for yourself or anybody else, but you can get blind to your own project because you know it so well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
Actually, it's been really quite nice. People have been joining the Discord and giving some feedback, and I got some feedback on like how to even set up the Discord server because like I'm kind of new to all of that as well. But yeah, as a result, I've like added some new channels, and I added like a forum where I actually have like threads for like features, and so like people can put in a request there, and then I can like reply and sort of track whether I've done it or not, and yeah, so it's great like getting some feedback from people who are actually playing the game.
so for those who didn't see the video or needs a refresh, this is, I believe, level 1, right? And when you have a world map, I don't know if we can. Yeah, we can go back to the world. Back to the world. Here we go. I've clicked it. There we are. We're back to the world, and we have a map of. It looks like the UK and Ireland and most of Europe and some parts of maybe further away. Yeah, we got some parts are further away, including we got. I think it was Minsk up there, and we got Rome and various different places. I think the idea is that you can go into these levels, and then that unlocks more things when you. The map makes the stream lag? Really? That's interesting. Wow. We don't very often get lag on this. Maybe that's just Jackman going funny.
Yeah, it shouldn't be using too much CPU, so it's probably the GPU. I don't know. That's interesting. But yeah,
here we go.
for
We've got a question in
world
chat
map.
here because I mentioned the video, and Brandon hasn't seen it yet. And he says, I've not seen the video. Where would I find it? So it's on my channel. And if you look in the list of playlists, you can go to the Pixels and Platforms playlist, and it's there inside there. Also, just in the list of videos. So, yeah, it's on my channel. It's there, and it's listed in there. In the thumbnail is almost identical to the thumbnail of the live stream, except it hasn't got that live deeper dive logo on it. So there you go. Let me have a look here. Oh yeah, so I've actually just got some statistics up, I think. Yeah, here we go. I've got
Seems
some.
like maybe people have lost audio again.
Have they lost audio? No, I think we're fine. Yeah,
Okay, maybe that was a comment from earlier.
yeah. Let's see. CPU utilization right now for me is 24%. Just looking at the world map, doing nothing. But if I zoom out and spin around, no, we're at 26, 28%. So we're not maxing the GPU's up to 84%. That's
Yeah, it's lots of little triangles is basically the deal.
and you got to remember, I was
But
like,
you don't generally zoom out that far.
we're not streaming just on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch, and we're also live on Steam as well. So we've got a lot of processing going on this end. I think I might have got those two the wrong way around. Yeah, I got them the wrong way around. GPU's at 80, CPU's at 20. That makes more sense. Right, so yes, I did the first level of Bristol. If we go back in now.
Yeah, what I was going to mention is while you're looking at the world map, if you click on, there's like a regions button, like there's like a stack of like menu story stuff.
Yeah,
the regions actually shows you the different countries' borders, and so within a country, like a country is roughly the same color, and then the different regions within that have like the little sub borders. And so each one of those regions is associated with a level, and then you sort of like when you're unlocking the world map, it will be like sort of a country, and then generally the levels within that country will become playable. And Britain is a little bit different because it's just the very beginning, so it's a little bit more guided if you have to do this level next.
Yeah, that looks good. I did actually have a little look at Cardiff. I never actually jumped into that. And oh yeah, we won't look at the story right now. We can orient 2D and orient 3D. Right. So yes, and one of the interesting things about this is that if people didn't realise, is that you play the game while it's paused, right? Oh, a little bit of stuttering, and then when we was
Yeah.
loading the game. Yeah, play the game while it's paused, and then once you've got it all sorted and up and running, you run your simulation, and that's when you get your score.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is following sort of, it's really, if you do programming, it's the same sort of thing where you have like your source code, right? That's your set of tracks and whatnot. And then when you hit play, that effectively first it does like a little compilation pass where it's like initializing, like figuring out things that can figure out statically. And then when it's running the simulation, it evaluates things that it needs to do dynamically. And then the idea is behind it, since there's like the score, right, that you're getting, and it's based on the amount of time taken, that needs to be like figured out in a deterministic sort of way. So it has to restart the simulation each time.
Yeah, and we're just rerunning the simulation that I set up in the video, and then I think it'd be appropriate to go on to the next phase and see if we can get that one sorted out as well. Without going through all of the tutorial, it did take a little bit of figuring out to see what I was supposed to do and what the completion was. I just realised the completion bar is just above my head, so I'll move my camera. There we go. We can see the completion bar in the corner now.
Yeah, as well, if you select everything, like what's in editing mode, and you select everything, it will also print out the cost of the infrastructure in the top right.
Yeah, okay. So we can do a big selection like that. And
Yeah, you can just press Control A, but it has to be not simulating.
I think did I stop it? Stop the simulation. There we go. I stopped it. Okay, Control A. We've selected everything, and then how do we get the report up?
Should be during the top right. Perhaps it's not.
Is it costs of level here? There we go. All right. Okay. So I can see here the delivering all goods and how much it costs and how much the infrastructure costs and the trains costs, and then we've got this leaderboard for the level down at the bottom here, which I think this is brilliant to just have like leaderboards just built in. Like every time you do a score, presumably is that then submitted and then compared?
Yeah, exactly. It submits the solution to the server, and the server runs a verification on it to make sure that you're not spoofing something.
Mm-hmm. Looks good. Huh? I like that. Well, I'll just run this simulation one more time. So, give me a second. Oh, we're getting some... It looks like when the game's loading something, then my computer gets framey. But when the game isn't loading something, it doesn't. So, let's get the simulation running. And one of the things that I struggled with when I was building was because I didn't pay enough attention to the tutorial, I wasn't quite sure how to get the depots on the track.
Yeah, I had noticed that, and so that was one of the things that I tried to make a little bit clear, is that when you click the depot button, that it highlights the ends of the track, because you have to place it on an end vertex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to make it hopefully a little clearer, so I put it here.
Yeah, and if you know that makes sense, but I didn't. And that's part of
discoverability issue.
That's part of me diving in and jumping in. See, we can make the simulation go crazy, and the trains go and complete the simulation, and I get a score. So there's my score. Apparently is that 602 out of 872 by the looks of it in terms of the leaderboard. But what I want to do is try and do the next level. So let's go back to let's go and use the menu.
That's
we'll go
interesting.
back.
I just noticed it says no score server, so perhaps the score server somehow crashed.
Ah, does it run as a separate server? Does it?
Oh, okay. It's like on a computer, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Server.
Yeah, we got it here. No score server. Okay, so looks like potentially unavailable at the moment. I think the problem is maybe we've made the game a little too popular and everybody's all charged on it all at the same time. Maybe. You did say that there was a bit of a peak in number of people trying the game out.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, there's the initial launch, which didn't have like a ton of people trying it out, but there was that was the highest that was prior to your video, and then several more. It was probably like 5 times more people in the peak after your video that came and checked it out.
That's so good that we could highlight the game and let people come and have a look. Let's go into this level now. Let's see what we can learn from this one. So we've got.
I'll see if I can get the server running again.
Okay, I tell you what. Should we say goodbye for now? I'll have a go at this level, and you can hang out in the chat, and if necessary, we can always spin the call back up again. But I appreciate you coming by to tell us a little bit about you and the game.
Sounds awesome.
And presumably, obviously, all the info about the game's on the Steam page, so people can go and check that out. And also, we can they can come to the Discord as well, right?
Indeed. Yep.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you very much. Bye for now, and we'll see you in chat. Would you say your YouTube username is? It is just your name, isn't it?
Yep, that's right.
Okie dokie. All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Yep. See ya.
Okay, folks. I just realised the notifications hadn't been coming through, so thank you very much, everybody, for putting those through. We got a channel member. So Natstert666, thank you very much for becoming a channel member. Hope you enjoy the extra little videos that we've got. And let's try and do this. Let's try and sort it out. We've got sheep pastures near Cardiff. Yes, so we've got sheep pastures. If we open up sheep pastures, we can see that we can send in 2 wheat to get sheep, wool and milk. Or we can just get sheep, wool and milk. I don't know what difference that is, but I guess we'll work that out and figure it out. And then we've got a forest, like last time. We've got some forests. Now, for a forest, you can shove oil in and you get extra wood out. Or coal in, you get extra wood out. Or you could just get wood out. And then we've got a textile factory. Now, I don't think we've got a sawmill. Oh, okay. So what do we need in order to complete the level? So if we look at Cardiff, it says textiles equals completion. Yes, I can hear the birds in the background. That's right. But yes, so textiles equals completion. So we need to get textiles into Cardiff. There's Cardiff there by the water's edge. Nice little buildings. And presumably we get the textiles from the textile factory. So here we can see that we've got 4 different ways to get textiles out of a textiles factory. Now, 2 of those ways requires steel, which we haven't got on this map. So we'll just ignore those. And then we can get wool in and cotton in. Right? Now, I think what would I say we got? So I'm ignoring the forests for now. So we get sheep, wool and milk. And we want wool for the textiles. Okay. Pour oil into the forest to get more wood out. Presumably they use the oil for machinery to get more wood out, not just to pour it on there. Now, I was expecting there to potentially be other industries on this map in order for me to be able to then go a higher level and get more stuff out, right? But this is only level 2, right? We're not expected to go crazy and do all of that sort of thing. So let's start. Let's start by connecting the textile factory up to the town. Let's get some track. Now, the track laying. If you haven't seen this track laying yet, you're in for a treat. Look at this. Watch this, right? So the first thing you do, you lay a straight piece of track. And then after a straight piece of track, you must lay a bendy bit of track. And after a bendy bit of track, you then must lay another straight piece of track. Bendy track, straight track, bendy track, straight track. And that's just how it works. Although the bendy track can be kind of straight as well. Or you can make it a little curvy. So I'm doing this. Okay, I'm making a big loop. Yeah. Don't forget the fuel for trains. Panic, that's a good point. That's why the forests are here. Right? Because in this game, you need fuel for the trains as well. Otherwise that'll run out. And the basic trains use wood. So that's what we're doing for that. So let's see here. Let's get a station platform. Let's see. Add platforms. So if we do platforms here. Oh, my bad. Platforms go next to the track, not on top of the track. Oh, no. I've been playing too many different games recently. By the way, folks, if you want to see me play a different game, we've got a pretty cool video coming out on Wednesday next week. And I believe the preview team already have the video, so they can check it out and tell us what we think of it. So there we go. I'm gonna make the platform quite long. Now I want to be able to get a depot in, so we're going to do a little bit of track here, connect it up with a curve, and then when we click the depot icon, look, we get a little circle telling us that we can place a depot there. Didn't used to have that in the game when I did my video. This is one of the fantastic improvements that we've had. Yes. The fuel mechanic is quite neat. Yes, it is indeed. So I've got a depot to get trains. We've got a platform to load the train up. And then we've got this line here that goes right next to the town. I didn't leave enough room for a platform, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one's 6 long. Let's put some platforms in here. And because I've made a long platform and my track doesn't quite fit, I can actually just drag and move the track. This track building's really good. I like it. I love it. It's great. Now, one of the things we need to do is supply the trains that are going to be on this loop with fuel, like Panic said. So let's go over to the forest and start chopping some forest down. So let's go and put in a platform here. Let's do it a little bit smaller. And we'll put the track in there. And then we're going to connect that track up to the textile factory into a new platform. So let's put, how big a platform did I put there? 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that there. So that's at least 4. Now I need to get these two bits to join up. So let's do a curvy bit to here, a straight bit to there, and then can I take the end of that curvy bit? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. Take this curvy bit and stick it on the end of that straight bit. I can. It's not quite how I want it, but I can move these straight bits and curvy bits. Let's make that straight bit longer. Ah, look at that. That's a nice little railway line going through the hillsides. Yes. And now what we need is we need one of these storage silos. So this stores all of the wood. Okay, defaults to wood. So when the wood train arrives, wood will be stored here. Maybe we could store it at the end. Can I store it there instead? Yes, I want to store it there instead. I want to delete that one. There we go. The reason why I want to delete that one is I want to add some more platforms in here, I think, for the delivery. Oh no, I want them to be row platforms. Tell you what, if I do the platforms like this, we move the wood silo. So remove the wood silo. And then I can put the wood silo on the inside. So we've got textiles out, something in, and then we've got wood over here. We're going to have to be careful with... Oh. How long's the train's going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Gonna have to be careful with these tracks. We don't want too many tracks bumping into each other. I think that should be alright. Okay. Because we're going to loop in all of these sheep pastures now. Maybe... do we do terminus stations at the sheep pastures and a loop down here? I think that might be a good idea. These trains can be a bit smaller as well, maybe. Let's put a 4-track station there. 4-track station there. I said track, didn't I? I might 4-length platform. Go uphill, downhill, uphill to be straight. No, but I love the background sound effects. It's really cool, isn't it? Okay. Let's have that as a bit to come out. So it's going to cost an absolute fortune, really, but never mind. Now, can I just curve that straight into there? Yes, yes I can. I'm not really 100% happy with that curve. Can I force the curve to be a little tighter? Yep, there we go, lovely. Now, in theory, the trains visiting here will also still get the wood delivery. I think. Also, I don't see why that can't be straight. There we go. Hopefully the trains won't crash. If you press escape while drawing in mode or T to toggle, it's easier to disable drawing than pressing the button. That's good. That's a good tip. And the server's running now. Fantastic. So if we click scores, we got my scores up there. We might be able to see the other things later. Right, I'm going to delete this track. So, no, not signals, delete. So, delete the track, select the track, delete the track. There we go. Brandon says, wait, is this multiplayer? Not in that sense, right? Not in the sense of we're all in the same game, but everybody's doing the same scenarios, everybody's doing the same levels, and all of the scores are then comparable. So the high score tables, essentially, right? Now, let's get this sheep pasture in. Oh, hang on a minute. No, I need to link this one back up yet. So, how am I going to do this? I think one of the things we might need to do... Oh, no. No. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I've lost it. Oh, dear. There we go. Trying to think about the best way to loop this together. And I think for like future-proofing myself, I'm going to do a few segments. Can I do that? Yeah. But I need to adjust the end of here to make it look better. There we go. So there's the main loop. Now we need trains to be able to come off and go that way. So I should be able to link... You know what? I'm going to have this line. I'm going to delete that bit. Because I want to be able to have a few different sections in order then to connect up the other bits. There we go. Because I want like a kind of T-junction here. I think. Let's try that. So track from there to there. No, that's not what I want. It's like a puzzle game. Yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle game. But it's also kind of not like a puzzle game. Isn't it? Right, let's connect that up. I can't remember if I've got this the right way around.
Fantastic.
Viewer Plus gift sub. Thank you very much for the Viewer Plus gift sub. Rasta Gaming. Oh, no, I've moved the track. I didn't want to move the track. Right. Indeed. There we go. Put that. Still trying to work out what I think might be best, but there we go. So if I press play now, it says currently simulating. I haven't got any errors yet. So I guess that might be a good sign. Yes. You played this game one evening until it was 4 in the morning. You think it's mandatory, straight and curvy, a bit harsh sometimes? I kind of like that that's how it works. Tell you what, right? Let's do it like this for now, before I add the other stuff back in. Or rather than back in. Before I add the other stuff in at all. Hang on a minute. I don't want that bit. I want straight here going in there. There we go. Then we can get a depot on the end. Oh, I could just put a depot on the end of the line, couldn't I? There we are. Control Z undoes. Yeah, I'm so used to playing games where everything is constantly active and there's no way to undo anything. Right, now, if I... what do we do here? Ah, yes, we have to add... So there's 3 different types of engine. Wood, coal, and oil. We have no, like, coal or oil on the map, so we have to use wood. Now, what is it we're taking from the sheep pasture? I think we're taking just wool, right? Down to the textile factory. Yes, we want wool. So let's add some wool carriages. And we want our train to be 4 long in total. So. Oh my goodness. What order are these in? Are these in order of which? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, wool. So I guess that might... See, I'm not quite sure what the length of the train is. Let's try that to see what happens. Yes. I can do some of the bars. Right, yeah. And coming out of the textile factory, we're doing textiles. So, from here... That one, I think, is how many trains? Yeah, 2 trains. There we are. Good evening. You forgot about this stream. How very dare you. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this simulates. So I've ordered some trains. And we'll see how it goes. It's a national holiday. Oh, okay. Right. Train 1 has nowhere to go. So I've already messed it up. Oh wow, it's huge. Train is massive. And it's stuck. Okay. Let's try and resolve that. First of all, we will clear the cars. And we'll do much smaller length train. And then what we'll do is we'll adjust how long that track is. And we'll also adjust how many platforms there are. Now, will that make a difference? Let's find out. Okay. We're going to get a bit... there we go. Oh, train has nowhere to go. Right, okay. I think I need to help the train out. It's a little bit confused about where it needs to go. You should make the platform length equal train length plus 1. Every time you start and stop the stream yes, you will get a lot of frame drops with this game and the simulation. Why is this game very different? Right. There's 2 main reasons I feel this game is very different. Firstly, the track building is very different to many different games that I've played in the past. Right. Secondly, you don't... you don't play the game while the simulation is running. So for games like Transport Fever, Machinki, OpenTTD, as you build stuff, things are happening, right? And then this game doesn't work like that. This game, you build everything, you plan everything, you run the simulation, and you see what happens after you're playing, after you're building. So instead of just playing an active game, it's like you're coding a solution. And then you run your solution to see what happens, and then you get your scores, and you can refine it and change it. Now, at the moment, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong in terms of setting up my trains to pick up wool, right? Can it reverse on dead end? It can reverse. Yeah, it can reverse. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what FPS the actual game... Oh, my goodness. Right, the game's currently running at 740 frames per second. Oh, yeah, maybe I do need it. Yeah. I don't think there's any options for, like, VSync and stuff. We're running in full screen. A little low, do you think? I mean, I am live streaming. What happens when I zoom in? Does it go up much? Yeah, we just passed 800 frames a second. 800 frames a second for a bush. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a frame limit. That might be sort of the challenge here. Right. Yeah. I think you need more signals in your loop. Maybe. Yeah, I've got no signals at all. That's partly my problem. Let's see. Right here. So we've got a block signal, then we've got a free passage signal, and then a chain signal. I'm going to put some block signals in. I'm going to put one block signal in there. One... No, wait. That one's facing the wrong way, I think. Yeah, that's facing the wrong way. One block signal in there. I want to get rid of this one. There we go. And this here, I think, might be alright. I think it might be okay to start with. And we'll see what happens next. We'll give it another try. So, we're going to get some frames while I start the simulation. But let's see if I've fixed the problem. Oh, we got more errors. Signals must be between different blocks and a signal for a signal to split the block. Okay. Error connects to self. Really? Ooh. Need a two-way signal, you think? There's chain signals. Block signals, yeah. There should be VSync. Let's have a look at the settings. Let me just see if I've got any problems with the way things are set up here. I'm going to turn my power tune. That's why my GPU was going crazy at times, I think, because it's just going crazy on the amount of... no, I think my settings are generally okay on that side of things. I don't think anything's been overridden. Sharpen. Performance mode. Anti-lag, no. Enhanced sync, but not that. Right. I'm not sure. Oh, hang on. So, did you say VSync? What about FreeSync? Is it not FreeSync compatible? That might be my problem. I'm AMD. Anyway, let's see. You need two-way signal, you said. The signal on the curve next to another curve that looks just like it's on the same bit of track but isn't. Maybe streaming software is messing with VSync. I don't have VSync. I think that's the problem. Oh, I see. Right. This signal's probably in the wrong place. The signal should be on the track here. He says, putting the signal in the wrong place. That might be my problem. Let's try again. Everyone has VSync. You're thinking of G-Sync. Silpho, you're right. You're right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Right. Right, we're just going to get the simulation running again. Oh, it is running. Oh, it's working now. Okay. So we have... Right. Pause. Pause the simulation. And we can drag signals. Oh, you know what? I did not know we could drag signals. Obviously, the simulation's running, so I can't drag signals. Where is my overlay? There's my overlay. Right, so here we go. So this train is currently on the way. It's empty. I don't think... I wonder... I probably could have done with a full load order, right? But what it's going to do is going to come around here, go there. There's the other one. Going round in circles. Again. That's empty. Oh, I didn't get anything at the forest. We're going to run out of fuel. But let's see if it works until it runs out of fuel. So the train just goes straight past the station because it's got nothing to do. Then we come up here. Oh no, now it's just going round again. Oh no, it's not going back to the starting station. I want you to go... Oh, now it is. Now it's going back to the starting station. Oh, it just went straight past. Oh dear. Right. Let's see what I might have done wrong. So if we look at the routing here... I don't know what's happening there. Should we jump back on a call and see if we can get the developer to give us a little bit of a helping hand? I think that might be a good idea. And then they can explain it much better than I ever could. Let's see if they're available. Without orders, it will alternate between exits when it comes to a signal. Oh, I see. Hello. So, yeah, I haven't got any orders. And for some reason, even when it went to the sheep pasture, it didn't do anything. So I'm missing something there, I think.
I have to see again if how you have your depot set up.
Well, I haven't done any setup. I just added a train and hope for the best.
Yeah, it should be accepting. You have wool cars on it.
Let's see. Just checking. Yeah, I do have 3 wool cars on there. Click routing. Says chat. It says over here it's got route wool. Then it says then click the depot. Oh, there we are. Look, so we got the highlight there of the routing. It shows us where it's going to go down the routing.
But that actually looks like it should pick up some wool then.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, try running the simulation and see if it picks it up.
Can we do full load orders?
You don't need to. So the default is that it will try to load stuff, but it'll load as much as it can. But if you wanted to set up full load orders, what you would do is you place a signal So before you get to the platform, and then on that signal, so you have to go into the track editing mode to
Oh, it's
place
doing
a
it now.
signal.
I think it's because my track wasn't a proper terminus for some reason. So it's gone now. I think it dropped off. It just went, and
Okay,
now
yeah.
it
So I think that is the coming back, perhaps. Well,
maybe
yeah.
coming
So
back
what you
isn't
need,
great.
it's not dropping off the wall because you need to place a signal where it should drop off.
Right, okay. Because it's not a terminus station.
Yeah, for row station, you need to place a signal to let it know where it should stop.
Right, so I've stopped the simulation. We're going to go back in and we're going to put some signals in. So let's get a signal on the on here, and a signal on. Oh, I did that facing the wrong way. Let's. I want to delete this one. There we go. Let's get rid of that. And this one, we'll drag it, move it back to the edge of the platform. Can we move that one onto the curve? Yeah, I think that might be onto the curve there. So in theory, it should drop off now. But I do need to get this whole situation of them running out of fuel sorted. So I'm going to add a depot on the end of this line here, and hopefully get a wood train working. So let's go in here. We've got a train, and we want to be able to say, I think it's wood that comes out of here. Yes, it is wood.
Yeah, so this is something that is not so clear, is that actually the depot can't go at the end of like the station like that. It actually needs to have um, a little shunt track that it comes from.
Ah, right, okay. Let's go. Did it? Oh, it actually circled it as a valid place. So I think that's what.
Yeah, that's I need to do something to make things a little bit clearer. The thing is that it can't know what ends of a track are valid or not, really. So
Yeah. There we go. I've got one. That should be a nice little place. So at the minute, I'm just trying to complete the objective, let alone actually getting a good score. Let's get that train on there like that. And I shouldn't need to give it any orders because it's got a terminus station here. And it's got... Whoa! And it's got a terminus station down there. And we shouldn't need any signals either. So I'm going to run the simulation again. And hopefully this time, they won't run out of fuel. So let's see what happens.
yeah, and by the way, you can drag the depots around. You don't need to delete them.
Oh, we got an error. Signal must be between... I think I need an extra signal. I've only got one signal on this loop. And oh, yeah. Well, I need one over here for the train to stop anyway. So let's add a signal in there. And... oh, get the signal right way around. There we go. One of these days, I will do the signal the right way around. I promise. There we go. Let's get rid of that one. So now we've got a few signals on this loop. At the minute, I've only got one train going on this loop. I could potentially divide it up and have more, but like baby steps, right? Let's get the basics working first, and see what happens.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to the interface, but yeah, once you do, and also like the keyboard shortcuts make it like so much easier to draw the track if you like push T and then to like start clicking around and then press T again to stop.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got a thing here where my station's too short. I can see that my train is overshooting and it can't turn around because it's on a piece of track which is a connection. It's got some points there. So I think if I give it another square of track and another square of platform, I might be all right. So I suppose it's also part of learning the game, but also part of iterating and improving, even if you know the basics, right, to get better scores.
Yeah, exactly. So between when you get the first solution versus what the best score that you can have after you like start adding more trains, connecting more industries, start using like the recipes that give you more efficient conversion, or you can also potentially boost industries. Uh, so like for the sources, like a forest, you can deliver coal to make it produce more wood, or you can take wood to a sheep pasture to uh, produce more sheep products.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, sorry, it's wheat to a sheep pasture because you can make industries more effective at producing their stuff by delivering things to them. And
Yeah.
so that sort of builds on this complexity, and so you wind up getting much more efficient solutions.
Right then, let's see what we've got going on there now. So I just fixed an issue where, again, my platform was too short for the train. And I've done it now, so that we've got the wood silo is got a load of wood in it. And when the trains arrived at this station, we saw them getting reloaded. So we get more wood in, and when they need more fuel, in theory, they should get fueled back up, which is great. And actually, I have managed to complete 6 out of 2,000. So the whole thing is working. Although the textile factory isn't outputting a massive amount, I don't think. Not a great amount. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. So we need to obviously connect more stuff up to make it work. Because at the moment, I've only got one sheep pasture connected up, and I haven't even connected up multiple trains, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also there's an issue, I believe, that your train going to the sheep pasture is having a 50% chance of going back to the sheep pasture versus just doing a loop again.
Yeah,
So I think this time it'll loop around. And that's because whenever it reaches a signal that has multiple potential exits, that it alternates which exit it uses. And so that can be used to distribute traffic between multiple different outputs, for example.
yeah, like
But
a
in
load
this case,
balancer. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Whereas if you use a chain signal, that prioritizes whatever's the shortest path to the next signal, and so you can set priorities that way. But in your case, you don't want that to happen. You want it always to go to the sheep pasture, and so in order to change that, you would need to use the routing mode.
So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to use the routing mode. I wonder, have we got too much
Yeah.
stuff waiting at the sheep pasture station? Oh my goodness, I just moved a whole piece of platform and a whole piece of track by accident.
Okay, this is a good time for Control Z to undo if you
Yeah,
if you mess something
definitely.
up.
How many undos do we have?
I think that I limit it to about 100 or so.
Oh, 100. Is that all? Okay. All right, okay.
Yeah, just
Right,
so you don't
yes.
consume too much memory.
Routing. So we've got the wall routing here, and it just goes round and round, but like you say, it loops backwards and forwards. Now, routing isn't something I managed to get into.
Yeah,
Let's
so
see.
so the way that this works is also unconventional, sort of like how the track drawing is unconventional. And so the routing works based on the signals. So what you do is from a signal, you say what signals it's allowed to go to or not allowed to go to, and it'll like draw a line to the things it's allowed to go to. So the way that you would set that up is around your junction, you'll want to have like a signal at each one of the inputs or exits from the junction. So for your sheep pasture, what you'd want is a two-way signal there because the train can go to the sheep pasture and it can leave it. And then for the
The free
signal,
is it the free passage signal? Is that it?
um, well, you'd actually, because this is a terminal station, I guess you would want a block signal that's just a two-way block signal. And the way that you change whether it's one way or two way or whatever is based on where the mouse is
Yeah.
next to the track. So if it's like directly on the track, it'll be two way. If it's not, it'll be the other. And if you click, it'll like toggle.
Ah, yes, very good.
And you can actually have like different types of signals in the different directions if you wanted. But you don't. That wouldn't be like appropriate in this situation. But it is possible to do. Yeah, and so then for the routing, so for the train that's coming from your textile factory, you want to like go into routing mode. If you just click on the track, then it'll select all of the routes that pass through that track.
All right, okay.
So then you want to click on the signal from where that train enters the junction from,
Okay, yeah.
and you want to then say add a route, like hit the little plus button, and then click the destination that you want to go.
I think I did that. Ah, I see. And it's deselected that, so it doesn't look like it'll turn left now. So what we're saying is, for all routes that is carrying wool, when you get to this signal, go to that signal. And that's
so
about it.
So all the trains are on that line. And if you don't specifically name a line, it'll just name it the set of things that the train carries. But if you want to name it or change the colors, if you go to the depot, you like click on that, then you can like type into the name field, whatever you want to, and you can also select the colors. And so there's like a primary and a secondary color that you can select for it, if you want to like organize in that way.
In here, yes, I did a name once, but for now, that's fine. Okay, so we got that improvement. Now, in theory, now I've done that improvement, I might be able to have multiple trains on this track. And I'm going to give it a try. So I'm dividing the loop up into a few more segments by adding some more block signals.
Oh, so it's actually not necessary to do that. So this is I guess another difference from OpenTTD is that there's the free signal that will always allow entrance into a block. Mm-hmm. And trains won't run into each other as long as it's on the same track. So what that means is that basically you set a free signal at the exit from a junction, and then just let the trains go there, and they'll just work out between themselves not to hit each other. You don't need to put a ton of block signals along the track.
So I've got a block signal at the station, and I've got a block signal entering the junction there and there. This is going to be an exit only, so I don't actually need that block signal there. You're saying if I add a free signal in, it'll just then allow them to go down that line and it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. They won't run into the back of each other.
Yeah. Lucy, we've got some questions in chat. One of them isn't a question, it's just somebody really saying how much wood would a wood train if a wood train could train wood. Which I'm sure they're just doing that to troll me, so I have to say it.
Somebody else, wood.
Yeah, all of the wood. And somebody else says, how much of this game was made by AI?
Yeah, for AI, basically the portraits are. I don't have the artistic skill to do that. And then for the story stuff, it was used to help in editing that. So
it's pretty much in terms of, the actual assets of the trains and the maps and the code to make it work. It's not in there.
You can tell that the 3D models were made by somebody who's not particularly skilled in making 3D models.
But you know what? They work. They work for what they need to be. Oh, you know what? I didn't put a second train on. I started up there. Yeah, there was one. The thing is that there is a bit of an anti-AI brigade out there, and it's a topic that we don't want to go down a rabbit hole with, because you really can rabbit hole with the topic. But
it's very divisive.
It is. But the short version of the story is it's here. We can't go backwards. And there's some people that they're advocating for going back to a time before it was there and undoing. Can't undo. This game has 100 undos in it. We can't undo AI. But what we can do is go forward with it responsibly. Right. So it's like turn-based. I don't know if I would not say it's turn-based. No. Right. So add an orange signal exiting the fabric factory, says chat. Orange signal exiting the fabric factory. Textile factory. I don't think so. I've got a standard block signal on the end there. I've added another train, and I'm going to run the simulation. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Now that's the first time I've heard somebody say their issue with AI is sloppy use, making it an unmaintainable project. That is a very valid concern, but I've not actually seen that problem myself. Here we go. Look. So we've got 2 trains running now, delivering textiles. I don't know if they're full or if they're full loading. That one appeared to be full. Maybe my trains could do with being a bit longer. Ah.
Yeah, so to explain how the loading orders work, the the default is that it will load as much as it can so long as there's something available at the industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just got 2 trains facing each other because of my lack of planning. It's like when you're playing that old theme park game and it says, through lack of planning, one of your visitors has got stuck in your park. Well, through lack of planning, I've got 2 trains staring at each other. So I've got to resolve that. So
This would be a wonderful example of how you could use a chain signal. And also you can change the type of a signal without deleting it. And so that's important for your case where you've set up the routing. So if you select the yellow chain signal and you just like click on the signal to change its type, then that would, so
I just used the wrong color.
Well, no, for the input, like going into the junction. So the problem was that you let a train into the junction when it shouldn't because it wasn't able to go into the dead end.
I'm with you. I've got a bit of a problem with chain signals, and I don't know what it is. And from my understanding, it's the same in Factorio. Brandon might be able to confirm, but something just didn't click when I was playing Factorio and trying to work with chain signals. And right towards the end of the series, I figured it out. I worked it out. I finally understood it. And then after the series, I forgot it all again. So
that's the fun of doing the stuff is it's very signal centric. So figuring out how like the chain signals and stuff work instead of like path signals, because path signals are too easy. In OpenTTD, you just make everything a path signal.
You can do pretty much.
So
oh, I had a crash. My trains crashed into each other.
Yeah, so
you did that on purpose.
No. So that particular signal where they're crashing into each other, that I think is probably. I think it needs actually to be blue for both ones, just a block signal. Technically, it might potentially work with orange, but the chain signal is the yellow one, and it needs to be set on the signal that's entering into that junction, because the problem is you need to not let a train into the junction until there's no train in the dead end.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So not the. I think there's some lag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There is definitely stream lag.
I'm a little bit behind you in terms of what you're doing, but it's the signal on the left. That one is the one that needs to be a chain signal.
Well, they didn't crash this time. They just stopped in front of each other. So I have definitely improved the situation. Let's fix that. Yeah, we were talking about chain signals so much that I clicked the wrong button and it wasn't even a chain signal. So let's try again. No explosion, says simulator.
No, not this signal pair. The one that's entering the junction, like from the textile factory.
Right. So both. Right. I did say that.
So what the chain signal says is that the train can only pass it if the signal, like the block following, also is open. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I need to go and play Factorio again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need to redeem myself. Yeah. The moderators are also crashing, counting the amount of crashes that I've done. Train crashes, which is very kind of them. Let's see what happens here. Oh, yeah, you see, look, we're waiting now. And now it's at the junction. We're away. I mean, it's not... I've not done the most efficient setup in the first place, have I? So... But we're all right. It's working. I could potentially have 3 trains doing this. So I think the next thing for me to do is figure out the other two pastures and how to get them onto this loop without breaking absolutely everything. And then I think I might need more trains on the textile factory output. So I'm gonna see if I can do that without changing the signals. Sometimes I don't sit and try and figure something out. I see what happens and then work on what the result was. And that's not always the best thing to do, but it can work. There we go. I've got 2 trains going around there. Loading up and unloading. Okay, that seems to be working fine for the output. Then no trains have ran out of fuel yet. And because all trains are going to be visiting the textile factory, just having all this wood coming out of the forest is fine. Is there only a finite amount of wood? Looks like it just keeps producing wood.
Yeah, there's an infinite amount of resources produced at industries.
That's
and
handy.
there's just a production rate.
Yeah.
So you could, in theory, have like enough trains to pick up all of the production.
Uh-huh.
But you're currently not at that limit, I don't think.
Okay. Now I'm just thinking here about how I want to connect this up. I'll tell you what. Can I share my screen so you can see in more real time? Yeah. If you want to have a look on Discord rather than YouTube,
Sure.
you should get a more real time view from here. So let's. I'm just going to delete these. Oh no, I'm in the wrong mode. Going to select that track and delete it so that I can add extra segments in. So there we go. Right, good. And that's so that because I wanted to be able to connect up here. So which bit do we want to go to? So
Oh yeah, by the way, if you have, like, it's a reasonably common thing that you'll have a long straight piece of track or something that you want to then cut and like add something in. And so there's actually a tool for that. If in the button there's like a little scissor thing that will allow you to cut the
just
track.
snip a bit of track up.
Yeah. And so that's like yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice. Okay, handy. A cutting tool, yes. Right, okay. Let's see. Can I?
Like track drawing mode, and then click, instead of on the vertex, click on the straight piece of track you want to connect to. Yeah. And then
There we
click on
go.
the, yeah. And so it's like, instead of clicking on the vertex, you click on the track, and then because you could potentially have multiple tracks coming into a vertex. And so by clicking on the track, like on the side that's closest to that vertex, that disambiguates what you meant, if that makes sense.
Okay. I think I might have set that junction up. Checkzone Kid said, it froze. I refreshed and it's back again. Maybe, I mean, when we stop and start the simulation, my computer is doing 700 to 800 frames. It's pulling and trying to
It
stream.
might be to do with the simulation initialization stuff, and running the simulation is multi-threaded. But I don't think you actually, if it's causing issues in the options menu, you can disable multi-threading, and maybe that'll get rid of your freezing issue.
Options.
And it may be necessary to restart the game for the multi-threading thing to actually change that. Is the only issue.
Okay, well, let's give that a quick try. Because of course, if it's just using one thread, then my computer can use the others. So let's save.
Yeah, because I think you're doing some other stuff, like you're having like video encoding running on the CPU and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got
So that's
encoding and all sorts. We're not recording today, which is probably a good job because that adds another chunk onto it. So there we go. You're also screen sharing on Discord. Yeah, I'm doing that as well. Are you getting quite a few frame drops now, are you? Well, we're just going to save this and restart the game. And then we'll go back in and see if turning off that multi-threading is going to give us a bit of an performance boost. And we'll see what happens. Right, going to load Cardiff. Make sure we're in full... no, we're still pulling 700 frames.
Oh, it's not, I don't think it's going to change the VSync issue. It might change the simulation starting lagging in your in your
Yeah.
frame encoding.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I think you need to share the screen again.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it's all working before we get back in there. I think we're all good on that side. Oh, on your side. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's.
I think you had shared the window, and when you closed the window, it disappeared.
Okay. Right. We're back in the game. Let's see how performance is all round. I'm not getting any drop frames on my side, so hopefully we will be okay. Now this is a little inefficient because it's so big. I'm going to try and make it smaller. There we go.
Yeah, I'm actually not able to see your game through Discord.
Oh, okay, hang on a second. You should be able to. Let's try again. There we go. Share screen. You might need to switch back to it now that...
Interesting. It's not showing.
Okay.
Maybe I'll disconnect and call you back.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, things are working again.
Things are working fantastic. Okay, I think I've managed to neaten up my lines. I know neatness is probably not going to get me points, but it at least helps me sleep at night. Yes. Let's just see. I think let's try simulating. I know I haven't added another train on. Let's see. Do we get... Oh, no. Signal too close to another track could allow collision. Oh, it's because I put the signals on there instead of down here. Okay, that's just a bit of a misclick. We'll move those signals along.
Okay, so I think the issue here is you actually created two signals instead of a double-sided signal because it was two different tracks there.
Oh.
So just you need to delete one of them. And then you can make that one two-way.
Two-way signals. There we go. Yeah. Blue two-way is wrong. It must be on the orange line. Yes, I did intend for it to be on the orange line, but when I placed it in, I didn't notice that it wasn't on the orange line. But don't worry, it is now on the orange line. So in theory, let's see what happens now. I'm moving my head a lot on stream, and we're not getting stream stutter. So it looks like turning off multi-threading has allowed better streamage. So... Finger crossed there. There we go. Everything seems to be working. No frame drops. Yay, says DJ. Okay, there we go. We've solved that problem. Now, I need to get trains in on this sheep pasture down here. There we go. Love the sound effects. Where'd you get all these brilliant sound effects from, eh?
I think it's from... There's a website, Free Sounds. Or something like that. freesounds.com.
Yeah, there's a website that I use for free sounds, and I can't remember what it is. I do have a link to it in case I need it. No, it's not freesounds.com, but yeah, I've used... This is amazing how much stuff is out there sometimes. What you can...
Yeah, I just double-checked. It's freesound.org.
Yeah. Right. So you've been working on this for about 10 years, you say?
Yeah. Sometimes off and on, but that's when I started. It was about 10 years ago.
Goodness, that is quite a project. I wish I had the time to work on something like that. That'd be great. Maybe one day I will. So how long's an engine? Is it approximately 2 tiles?
Yeah, so the engine is 1 tile, the tender is 1 tile, and then each of the cars is 1 tile.
I've been overcomplicating it. Of course, it makes sense now. All right, so engine, tender, and then I've got 2, but I want 2 more. So if I add 2 more, I need to then go like this and extend my track. Oh no, I don't. No. I don't want new track. I want to extend the existing track, and then I'll add it so we've got 2 trains. Okay, that looks good. Now, how long are the trains? Oh, okay. I want 1 more wool car on there. That's a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm actually one too many, so I'm going to tidy that up and get rid of it.
Yeah, so by the way, in terms of like optimal train length, it turns out that somewhere around like 8 or 9 cars tends to be about the best.
Shh. Secrets. Shh. Right, okay. I'm just going to mute myself for a second because somebody has redeemed a train whistle, and I think that's appropriate with the amount of trains we've got going around. So here we go. There's a train whistle for them. Fantastic. What time is it? Oh, it's 9 o'clock at night. There you go. That's the last train whistle of the night, everybody. Well, there's going to be people going to bed in the house. I live in a house with 3 other people, the wife and the 2 kids. We don't want to be waking up the children with train whistles now, do we? Right, let's get a new section in here. I'm going to get another... Ooh. That's a bit weird. Usually I find that if it doesn't look right, it's because I did something wrong. Yeah. Could be the train whistle in the game. Could be. I've also got a button that will do a virtual train whistle. But you don't get that. Not unless somebody does another redeem. Right.
Yeah, I considered having train whistles more frequently, but I realized that would be actually extremely irritating. So there's a train whistle, but only when you start the game. When you like click on a save, it goes toot toot.
Yeah. It might be nice, like when you start the simulation, you get one extra one then as well.
Maybe.
But you know what these lot are like? They'll have a train whistle at any opportunity. They
can't fault somebody for that.
They are mad for the train whistles. Right, I can't remember how long my platforms were now. I think there was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6. I'm gonna try and at least be consistent, even if I'm not necessarily particularly perfect at this. And let's get a bit more track in over here. Oh no, I connected up to the wrong piece of track and now it's bendy. Okay, can I disconnect that? No, I think I need to delete it. Let's try again. So this time we're going in there. There we go. Oh, well, can we have a diagonal depot? Does that work? It does work. There we go. Look at that. Bit of Oh, a game that actually has good diagonal depots for a change. Everybody, we must celebrate. Hate diagonal depots on OpenTTD. Yeah. Oh, somebody in chat just said, did you know you can build diagonal depots? Yeah. Hellish, whistle as an Easter egg somewhere in the game? Oh, that could be interesting. Let's get this train sorted out, though. Let's get
you can't tell the secrets.
Yeah, we don't want the secrets. There we go. I think I might have too many trains now. But we're gonna have to wait to find out.
You can never have too many trains.
Well, things could all go horribly wrong. And we could find out that. I think I need a signal here for the exit. Okay. I mean, it's not very bendy and fluidic. It's quite regimented, grid-like, and almost factorial, I guess. But this line isn't. This line's quite bendy, and it goes diagonally across the grid, so that's fine. And this one's even quite curvy, so I guess we've got a little bit of diversity, haven't we? Right, let's see how terrible I've done in the simulation this time. Let's see if we can get most of it on stream. What angle shall I play it at? If I do it here, you might just be able to see what's going on. There we go. Yeah. Too many destinations. Need to edit the routes again. Oh, that's a good point. Yes. So a bunch of... Oh, that train just went to the wrong sheep pastures. Oh, no. Oh, no. I forgot to route the other sheep pasture trains, and now they're all going all over the place. I mean, to be fair, it's still going to work. It's just going to be terribly inefficient as they go the place they're not supposed to several times and go round in circles several times.
Oh, it can always be fun if you have something that you know will work to just run the simulation to completion so that when you fix it, then you're like, oh, wow, look how much more efficient it is.
I did better.
I've improved upon my score.
Yeah. would it be more efficient to go diagonally and bendy rather than grid-like? Does it affect the score? Well, diagonally would be quicker, wouldn't it? Like it would take less time to go a diagonal, right? We all remember our trigonometry, or is it
It also
Pythagoras, or
would
both?
take less track,
Less track,
which also comes into consideration for the score calculation.
Yeah. So the score calculation, the more trains you have, the more it costs. The more track you have, the more it costs, and all that sort of thing. But presumably, the quicker you do it, the better it is as well.
Absolutely, all those are added together.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm gonna fast forward this now.
It's like a golf score. You're trying to get it as low as possible.
You know what? I don't think I did too bad. Let's have a... Oh my goodness, it's going crazy in the background. I went to 4 million ticks. Maybe there should be an auto pause on finished level, so that it's just not going.
There is. There's a button right under where it says the ticks. There's pause on completion.
And that's not on by default. That's off by default, is it?
Yeah, it's probably like a little bit confusing, but
No, it's not confusing. I just didn't notice it because I'm I'm not a massively observant person all the time. But there we go. Anyone else enjoying the near miss? Yeah. Chat's now saying, you need to click that pause on complete. It's your fault. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I got a score. Let's see. Cost. Total costs of 554,000. Which puts me 351st out of 505. Hang on a second. This, I can't remember. Is this type of graph called a histogram?
yes, it's a histogram.
Yes. Yeah.
And something I should also perhaps mention is that the x-axis is on a log scale.
Oh.
So, yeah. So if you hover over one of the bars, it tells you what range of scores fall into that. And the reason I made a logarithmic scale is because there's a lot of things that are sort of like multiplicative factors, right? So if you have like one train versus two trains, or one industry versus two industries connected, stuff like that. And so that'll sort of like blow up the scale if it's just a linear scale.
Yeah.
And so it's a log scale to make things more understandable and sort of.
One thing that tripped me though is the better scores are on the left and the worst scores are on the right, and just instinctively I expected it to be the other way around. And it took a moment.
Are better and they're on the left.
Yes. So the numbers are little, and then the numbers get bigger, but numbers get bigger is bad. So now I need to try and do much better than what I was doing. And all I'm going to do is try and fix these signals. So I'm going to go into routing mode. I'm going to click the signal. Now there's 2 different wool routes that are showing up. No, wait, there's 3 different wool routes.
Yeah, so the set of routes that is shown depends on like as you move around, because especially in the world map,
oh yeah,
you could have lots and lots of routes all over, but only some of them are going to be relevant, like within your region. So it figures out which ones are potentially visible, and then also if you like click on track, that's like an easier way to select routes. But when it's like a bunch of things that are all delivering the same thing, at that point is when it starts becoming useful to name them.
Yeah, I was just sat here thinking, I've got 3 here. I've got 1 called wood, 2 called wool, and I have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to go in and actually name them. So let's go back. Oh, hang on. Where's my depot gone? I think at some point I accidentally deleted one of my depots when I was messing around with
a good time for Control Z.
I was ages ago, I think, by the looks of it. I don't think I've only just noticed. Well, it should be easy for me to fix that then. So let's get those trains back on there. Oh, no, not 3 trains, 2 trains. There we go. And while we're here, we're going to call this W1 because I'm relatively lazy. Yeah. Well, I'll name the others. While I'm naming the others, remember everybody, we do have a game giveaway on the go. That is for this month. And at the end of the month, we'll draw the winner. And the winner will get a bundle of Populous games on GOG. How cool is that? There we go. And oh, I've dragged the depot potentially by accident without
In
realizing.
that case, there might be a depot like placed in some odd location.
Yeah. I'm now scanning for depots. Are
Well,
we
if you just
able
start the
to hide
simulation, if one's in the
trees?
wrong place, it will flag as an error. And you can
Maybe I did delete it then because I'm not seeing an error and I'm not seeing. Are we able to hide trees? Is that something we can do?
That's something that's in the to-do list.
Okay, cool. That's nice to know it's in the to-do list. Yes. Right. Trains do not re-enter the depots for servicing. No, they do not. Right. Now I've renamed them all, I can go and sort out these signals. Right, so I can go to route mode, I can go to this signal. We can say wool 1, when you come to this signal, we want to add your routing to go to here. Right? And that's fine. And then we want to say for this signal, that's the wrong colour signal. Okay, let's go back into track mode. At least I think it's the wrong colour signal. Yes, it's the wrong colour signal. Okay, let's. We can overwrite it though, can't we? Just click on top of it. There we go. Right, back into routing mode. Now we can say for wool 1 again, from this signal, we want to add a route to go here. And for this junction block, from this signal, we're going to add a route to go here. And now you can see I've fixed the wool 1 routing. Now I want to do the routing for wool 2. So let's do that. So we do exactly the same thing. We go from here for wool 2. So from here, we say we only go that way. And wool 2's this one down here, I think. Oh, I can't remember which one's which. Never mind. I'm sure it'll be okay. We always go that way. And from this junction, we always go that way. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Multi-select is worth pointing out. Yes, that could be useful. Wool 3, here we go. So, when we come to this junction, it won't try and go straight on, I don't think. I think it will only turn left. I'm not sure. But, let's see. From here, we're going to go that way, and from here, we're going to go straight on. And I think that should
Yeah, I
work.
think actually the middle junction needs to be set to go to the pasture.
The middle junction needs, so it has to go forward.
Because right now it'll... Oh, actually it's the chain signal, so it would choose the shortest distance. It's best if you specify that it goes to the pasture.
Yeah, let's specify. There we go. Because we don't want it to turn around that corner. There we go. Click depot equals select that route. Okay, well we've got all those routes sorted out now. And in theory, I haven't changed any track. I haven't added any trains and stuff, apart from what I accidentally deleted. Let's run the simulation again and see what happens. You know what? The simulation starts immediately without pausing, which it was doing before.
Yeah, I think there's some weird interaction. I don't know about what exactly is causing that, but maybe with the video encoding, like if that's using the CPUs.
Yeah, I was seeing the
something
same
like that.
problem when I was doing the actual recording as well. And I think like this disabling multi-threading would have resolved that as well. So there we go.
Yeah, and the multi-threading really isn't needed until you have lots of trains.
And even then, like,
Once you're in like hundreds of trains, then you start wanting it. So it's primarily useful for the world map, I would say.
yeah, I haven't even touched the world map yet. That's something that I might have to look at in the future. Let's see what we got here. Just some notifications, just double checking. That's okay. Right now, how many subscribers are we on? Oh, we've just reached 45,200, which means I've got to change the retro counter behind me. So whilst this simulation is running, I'm just going to nip back here and change this 1. Oh, I'm going to find a 2. It's warm in the office. It's 27 degrees in the office. And I tell you what, in the UK, that is warm. I know in some parts of the world, 27 degrees is just like normal, right? It's a different sort of heat. Okay, over here, especially for people who aren't used to it, 27 is uncomfortable, sticky, and claggy. If that is a word that translates well across the world, I'm not sure if it does. Is that a local word? Do people know claggy?
I think claggy is not something we say in America, but people say clammy sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe that's quite similar. I feel claggy is probably much more, I don't know, awkward, maybe? I don't know. Trains blocked from exiting textile factory because of using blue signal. Recommended to change to orange signal. We'll have a look at that. Let's have a look. Let's go back to the game. See what's happening here. So, trains leaving. Oh, I see. So what you're saying is that they can't leave the textile factory unless the line ahead is completely clear.
Yeah, so if you look at that, actually, you only need orange signals because it's just a loop. They'll never run into the back of each other.
Yeah.
And then there's like on the bottom, those two signals are unneeded and can be deleted.
Apparently, claggy is a word from Yorkshire. How cold does it get in the UK? I mean, you'll see -5 and -7 sometimes in particularly cold times. The hottest it's ever been, I think, was 42. And I was on a train coming back from London after, I think it was one of the hellish weekends, actually. I don't recall.
Literally, actually, a hellish weekend.
Yes. I went on a bit of a trip to go see some people because, a long story short, a bunch of people were all travelling to similar places at the similar time. So we was like, oh, let's rearrange this slightly so we all like travel mostly together in these places and go visit each other in these places. So we did that, and then the next year was like, oh, let's do something like that again. And we've done it every year since so far. So last year we went to... where did we go last year? Was it Nottingham? We're going to York this year. It's been great fun. These trains are doing all right. I mean, I don't know how I'm doing compared to the rest of the world. Yeah. DGX says, I was in the UK when it was 42. Yes, you was. It was horrible. 42 on a train. Actually, it wasn't too bad on the train because the air conditioning was really trying. It wasn't hot, but it was, again, uncomfortably claggy. Right, let's fast forward this and see what score I get. Oh, look at that. I've moved up the rankings somewhat. 256 now out of 505.
You've nearly halved your score.
Yes. So that 505, what is that? Is that the number of different people, or is that some other
Yeah,
metric?
exactly. Yeah, so there's 505 people who have valid scores on this level at the moment, and you're 256 out of it, so you're right about the 50th percentile.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a quick look at the simulation running and just see if there's anything I can do to make it work even better. So, let's see. We got that could be maybe a chain signal. I don't think we're ever running out of wood. There is nearly always a queue at the textile factory, so I think we might need multiple platforms there.
Woohoo, fun.
And maybe we could do with another... You know what? I don't think we need more trains delivering. I think they're never getting full. Yeah, they're not. These two trains are doing the job perfectly fine by themselves. That signal on the exit there can be orange. That's probably true. I think we're going to go and try and get a second platform here, and that's where a lot of the slowdown is. So let's see if I can even fit that in. So 6-length platform, bit of straight track going in. We'll connect the curve up like that. I'm not sure if that is going to be... Is there a speed penalty for the angle of curves? Like
Yes,
the
there
radius. Yes.
Yeah, there is. There's not a way to show it right now, like in the editing mode, because it actually depends on the length of the train. So longer trains are penalized more than short trains.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of depends on, the dynamics of what train you have at the moment. So the way that you can view that is while you're running the simulation, if you click on a train, it will say limits, and it'll say like the speed that the speed limit imposed by the slope of the hill from the curvature of the track and just the engine type as well.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you your current speed and then what is limiting your speed from those like different factors.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll have a look at that in a second. I'm just trying to get the simulation running now and see if this wood train fits. I can't remember if it does or not. It might not be able to turn around. Oh, it can just turn around. Okay, so the wood train does fit. Can I move that track? No. I think that's about the... You cannot use orange now. Oh, because I've got... Right, I can't use orange on the end here because
they'll crash into each other in the junction.
Yeah, okay. We also need bridges.
Indeed, you need a footbridge.
We need a footbridge, so I'm going to put a couple of footbridges in. Yeah, I think
I'm
the
sure
graphics on
will appreciate that.
The footbridges need potentially something changing about the graphic on them, because from some angles I can't even see the footbridge on the platform.
Yeah, it's a little hard to read visually.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
In fact, I think I've just managed to look underneath a footbridge and it's invisible.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wow.
I'm good at this sort of rubbish. I'm good at breaking things. I sometimes
one-sided polygons, so man.
Yeah, indeed. There's I mean, what even is a one-sided polygon? Only on a computer can that possibly exist, right? But yeah, Brandon, one of the members of the community, he's very good at finding errors that nobody in the rest of the universe has ever found in anything. He plays a lot of EVE Online, and the number of errors that pops up that people are just like, I've never seen that, ever. Like, the whole community is like, what are you talking about, Brandon? But he manages it. He manages to find all the errors. Let's see if this dual platform job's done the job, and whether I've broken anything. And will they just randomly pick platforms? It looks like they will. One of them did queue up behind, but then... Oh, we got a bit of...
It's theoretically possible for trains to crash with this setup, but...
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that because the back of a train...
I'm not sure if they actually will. But yeah, it's exactly. Because you don't have a junction guarding where they split. But it might just be unlikely, and with the spacing of the trains and whatnot, that might never happen.
Okay.
So, not the largest issue, but what is happening right now is in the exit is that the junction includes the whole track going out. So ideally you'd have like an exit signal around the junction right after the tracks merge.
Okay, so we'll use... Is that going to be...
Yeah, that would be the orange one. So the free signal, but just says that like multiple trains are allowed in the track that's following it.
There we go. Right, so we got that in there. And so you're saying what I should probably do is add maybe a chain signal going into the blocks for those platforms.
Well, so what's actually ideal to do is a little harder to say, but I was just saying that it is potentially possible for trains to crash into each other there. But if you're having so with the chain signal there, like that is a totally good thing to do, but you should have the signals sort of on the other side, like how should I say, after the track split, there should be block signals for the trains to say like, oh, I can go into that block, or I can go into the other block. And then the train signal will select which blocks is empty or not, and direct the trains that way.
Let's try that. Let's try that. There we go. Yeah. Yellow in, and then a blue on the back of the platforms. Chat saying yes. Where are these trains? Come on, trains. Yes. I appreciate you making it impossible for me to go and accidentally get the camera lost off the edge of the screen.
Yeah. I tried putting like a few different mitigations for... I'm not sure exactly what happened there. My theory is that like you were using the arrow keys to move the camera around, and then lost focus of the window, and then it like went crazy. But yeah. I'm not exactly sure.
I was able to recover the situation, but it was just a little strange. This seems to be working a lot better with, more two platforms going in there. And this is like level 2, right?
Hmm.
How many levels are there in the game right now?
There's about 60, but they're not
Six.
necessarily getting like way more complicated in terms of how things work. Although this is on the simpler side of the levels. So the first two levels are intentionally like on the simpler end, and then you start getting more different industries and more complex cargo chains in some later levels.
Yeah, yeah. We had a question in the chat a little while ago. Unfortunately, we couldn't answer it at the time that it popped up. So I can't remember the exact wording, but the question was somewhere along the lines of, what is the revenue model for this game? Like, where is it making its money? How is it paying for itself?
It's not. It's literally actually just free. So yeah, I've been doing this as a hobby, and I wasn't expecting that there's probably going to be that many people who are interested in playing it. And so I was like, if I'm not expecting to actually make very much of anything if I were to sell it, then I'd rather just release it for free and try and improve the exposure.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing that crossed my mind is that this game is 100% game. Like all the game is there. Sometimes you get games and like it's missing like so many features that actually make it a playable proper game. But this one's got all the features, right? But then the other games bring out DLCs with features that you're like, oh, thank goodness we've got this feature now, and you're kind of almost forced to buy DLCs in order to be able to then be able to play the game properly. I can't think. I
Yeah,
think
sure.
maybe to some
I
extent maybe City Skylines, because
so
that one's
one of
maybe a
the
bad
games I'm
example.
thinking of that's similar to that is like Stellaris or like Europa Universalis. Like these, I forget
Yeah,
what the publisher is of those.
yeah,
Um, but there's like in the DLC, there are things that actually like really change how the game is played,
yeah,
or maybe Civilization. I don't know, but there are things that like add new factions, new story modes, new mechanics, and stuff like that. And yeah, I can see how that like segments it and
yeah.
just
And
not.
but there's also some games where the base game just is like fully featured. It's a complete game, and then they bring out a DLC, and people are like, "Brilliant! Yes, more content, more of brilliant." I've got brilliant. It's a full brilliant. I'm happy with this brilliant. But look, I can buy more brilliant. So when I looked at this world map, it's not an entire world, is it?
Yeah, it's Europe basically.
It's Europe. Would I mean, I don't know if I'm guessing here. Has it crossed your mind to bring out other parts of the world as DLCs, paid DLCs on top of the free base game?
That's a really interesting suggestion. I hadn't really considered it. Um, but yeah, perhaps like if it does actually prove that the game is fairly popular, then yeah, maybe that would be a way to tap into the players, like the player base, as like a way to actually make some money off it. I
Yeah.
hadn't considered. It's like one of those, like I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Like
Oh yeah.
I wasn't expecting anyone to play it that much. Like not to have very many players. So, but if it gets into like, oh, there's actually like thousands of people playing it, um, you know, maybe some of them would be willing to give some money. Then I should
Yeah.
consider that more deeply.
I think I think because, and this is the important thing from my perspective, so it's just one person's point of view, because the game is fully featured and doesn't feel like it's missing something without a DLC, I wouldn't mind the option of a DLC. I wouldn't consider it like an insult like it is with some games, right?
Yeah,
Does chat understand what I'm saying?
it's sort of like almost like the shareware model in that case, right? Of like, I don't know if maybe I'm like dating myself in how that model doesn't exist anymore. But for example, Doom, like the original Doom, when it was released, they had like a floppy disk, and it was like the first act, or the first like set of levels was in that, and then like if you enjoyed it and you wanted to play more, then you could buy the full game, and that would have like more content, but the gameplay itself was basically the same. It's just more levels.
Yeah.
So I think you're proposing something along those lines.
So maybe like the base game is a full game, but it's just Europe. But then like get on continents get added, and that's the DLC. It was just a thought I had, and it was something that I thought I should mention, mostly because I have a terrible memory. So if I don't mention it while I'm thinking it, then I'm never going to potentially mention that in the future. But this is working quite nicely there now. I quite like this. It's running quite nicely. And it's nice to see... I mean, one of the things that does cross my mind, it is quite a niche game. Like, the sort of puzzles and problem solving that it involves is probably quite niche. And also the genre as well, of kind of like trains and transport. That's relatively
Yeah, it's sort of like an
niche as well.
intersection of niche genres.
Yeah.
So that's why, and it's not like a graphics masterpiece, So
You're going for a very small slice of that Venn diagram there, aren't you? So,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before about games. Like, you don't necessarily need the best graphics. The graphics just need to work. And with a few minor exceptions, it works brilliantly, right? I know somebody's going to ask what that minor exception... For example, this bridge in the station, right? From my point of view, that's an opportunity for improvement, right? But apart from some extremely minor things like that, it works because it's not about looking at a pretty landscape. It's about being able to view what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve, and seeing that happen. And that's what you can see here. Like these figures here. Can I pause the simulation a second? Right. I had to pause the simulation to even see that these people are they're just cubes. They're just giant 3D rectangles walking around, right? And they've got little grey boxes that they're carrying. But that's all that's needed for this particular simulation.
Normally they're zooming around so fast, so you're never going to look at it.
Exactly. But I've just paused it now just so that we could have a good look. But yeah, like the fact, like you say, they're always moving around so quickly. It's a matter of, it gives an impression of what's happening. And that's what's important. I mean, really, you could almost do this just like as a spreadsheet. And you wouldn't even need most of the graphics at all. But that would be taking it to the extreme. DJX says the signals could do with green and red lights. I'm not sure I agree with that. It's about the logic of what they're doing, and you don't need to know whether they're green now or red now, because it's just happening. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe some sort of interaction with the trains to indicate their state would make sense. For change signals especially, it could be helpful to understand is like when one of the output destinations is considered valid or not.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So that's totally a reasonable suggestion.
I mean, you can see it working here on the stream right now. You can see how it's working by the train being held back and then going into the platform when there is one available. But to actually see the decision making is probably the wrong words, but you know what I'm saying. The decision making of the signal, you would be then indicated by what Egg was asking for. Yeah. Fran the Man says, yeah, there's nothing worse than having to make a purchase to be able to finish playing a game. Yes, and I wouldn't feel that would be the case here. So I'm on your side there, Fran the Man, with that particular train of thought. Wow.
Yeah, I guess the question is with the DLC is like, is that considered in order to complete the game, like is the DLC part of the game or is it not? It's it's definitely possible to have different opinions on on that. So yeah.
Right, I managed to get up to 240 tooth out of 507. Hang on a minute, that wasn't 507 a minute ago. More people are playing. more people are playing and doing this level. I bet there's a
Oh
few
yeah,
people in
there's 2
stream
more
watching.
scores now.
Yes, more scores are coming in all the time. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying playing the game, figuring out, relearning these sorts of signals because, of course, like we say, one of the main games I play, OpenTTD, you just plonk down your path signals. You don't have to think about it. I'm only using one of the 3 forests here. I don't know if that is a bad thing or not. I don't think it is. I think it's okay. I think it's fine that I'm only using one of the forests. We haven't had any trains run out of fuel.
It's just supplying the fuel, and trains don't use that much fuel, so I think one forest is fine.
Yeah. Is there an easy way to see?
The main thing that you want to do if you're like trying to optimize is you want to make sure that you're picking up like all of the inputs, so from all of your sheep pastures. So
yeah,
if you look at it, you can even like click the graph button.
Oh, I didn't see the graph. It looks like I'm barely making a dent in the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving a lot on the table, aren't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there are various ways that you could pick up more, but the current station setup that you have is that like there's like a terminal line that only one train is allowed to go on at a time in your current setup.
Yeah.
So that could be changed to be, for example, row, or they could even be terminal, but you'd have to have like 2 tracks, like an input and output track coming to a station.
Multi-track terminus. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are various different ways that you could make this significantly more efficient, longer trains, as you are doing right now.
Yeah, I'm getting slightly longer trains. And I'm also added one more train. Now that could end up backfiring. I could end up clogging up my railways.
Well, the way that the stations are designed currently, it will clog up the railways because the entire track leading up to that, your whole leg, is a single block with a block signal on it.
Yeah. So there's got to be enough room in the loop for all the other trains.
So you need to have like 2 tracks, right? A 2-way, like a way for the trains to come and a way for trains to go instead of.
Yeah. Oh, a question here: can a single platform be 2-sided, i.e., a track on either side?
Yes.
Yep. Brandon says more loops equals more better? Question mark? Maybe. What you got to remember is that, as with some game, it's a trade-off though with this, right? Because I was just about to say, in OpenTTD, what you do... Oh, I just pressed something and the whole thing stopped. Never mind. I think it was a keyboard shortcut by accident. But I could have a look now at the new keybinds list that's been added. But yeah, in OpenTTD, you would just use your millions to make a dedicated loop for each of the lines, right? And that dedicated loop for each of the lines would make sure that then everything was fine. Because you'd have all the throughput you need down each of those loops. But in this one, every extra line you build, every extra platform you build, every extra train is going to cost you more money. And that's all taken into account with the scores, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'd say like on the first order, the first thing you want to do is to try and pick up all of the goods from the industry. So if you have separate loops for everything, like that's going to get you pretty far on the leaderboard probably. But to get to like the best scores, you need to start sharing tracks and stuff like that.
Right, okay. So the kind of initial strat is shift as much stuff as possible, and then after that, it's like let's refine.
Then you want to do it efficiently.
Yeah. There we go. I've just had to fix this station due to platform length being completely inadequate. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the opposite to OpenTTD, where you build, run, and it shows you your your millions. Yeah, supposedly in a slightly different way it does, doesn't it? I don't know, is there a limit to the number of little people that can go across a bridge at any one time?
by the way, the trains aren't allowed to unload cars on the curved sections of track. So that's why the last two are not unloading.
Oh, okay, okay. So I thought if it was close enough, it might be all right, but no, it's not allowed. There we go. I think that fixes it. Yeah, one of the things that I've kind of limited myself in this build is I've done the textile factory as one big station. I didn't need to, but I just wanted to. Mostly out of giving myself a challenge, but also out of laziness, because then I can just deliver the wood to one place. Big tip. What about? Ask about queued entry to stations. They are queuing. I suppose that's one of the advanced techniques, right?
Yeah, it's getting into like if you are trying to start designing your stations for like the highest throughput, which is that basically if you look at the way that your station is right now, you see how they're queuing up at the chain signal,
Yeah.
but you could have them like for each of the platforms. You could have the trains have entered into that block via a free signal, so that they're able to immediately replace the train that's in front of it as soon as it starts moving, so it doesn't have to wait to pass the junction. So that's how you can increase the efficiency of your unloading end of your station.
Wow. Hang on. You're gonna have to run that last bit by me again. So so by using a free passage signal.
So the easiest way to get something that would be more efficient than what you have right now would be actually your chain signal. So this is like the next stage in complexity of the station, I would say. Or I'm not sure it's even more complex. But if you take the chain signal and you made that just a block signal, like a blue one.
Yep.
And then you can make the blue signals that are like exiting that block into free signals like the orange.
Yep.
So that'll make it just alternate between the platforms, and the trains will be able to go. And if as well, it's like there's enough room for the trains to fit behind without like being in the block, then you can have a train immediately behind and just ready to go.
So here, there's a bit of a problem in that it seems that the nearby train gets unloaded quicker. So when I've got a waiting train, it then blocks up the other side.
Yeah, so there is a difference in the loading rate. And so that's when you might start wanting to have a chain signal to do the load balancing. But you can improve the efficiency of this a bit more if you have like a waiting bay, essentially. So the train can be behind another train waiting to get to the platform, and not have its tail end in the intersection, if that makes sense. So if you move those free signals back so that like a whole train can fit behind,
Oh, yeah.
then they can like alternate to which side they go and not block the intersection.
Yeah. Jason says, "Damn, I'm late. Who is the guest?" The guest is just some random person that I found floating around on Discord. Just so happened to be the solo developer for this game, which is very handy to have on the stream. There we go. Oh, they are queuing up now, and they are filling up the station. Oh, I'm getting lag. I think that's just my computer, though. Yes.
Yeah, so now you're seeing that there was a situation where you had like 3 trains in the far platform, and that's from the difference in the unloading rate. So the rate at which the trains unload depends on basically how quickly the workers can walk over to the train cars, and like going up and down the bridges is a little bit slow. So now that you have this like waiting bay, you can potentially start being a bit more sophisticated, where you try using a chain signal to distribute the work. But I don't think that that's your bottleneck anymore.
I'm going to try something that I don't know whether it's going to work, but I might need another signal but I want to see what's going on. So if I change,
Yeah, sure.
I'm just changing it. I'm going to play around with it and see what we're going to see what's going to happen here. And it might be that we only get one in each one again. I can't remember. Yeah, we're only getting one in each one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, maybe you'll figure it out. Let me know if you want tips.
hang on. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. So I had free signals in there before. And this chain signal is which one? I think maybe if I put a signal on the end of the platform as well, then that might just fill everything up there and it just moves forward, giving myself more filling room. I think that's going to balance the incoming tracks and allow for waiting. It seems that actually is a small improvement.
Yeah, exactly. You figured it out. And then the one other thing is that those blue signals that you added, like at the end of the platform, those actually can be the orange free signals. So that right now, if you watch it, like the train will leave and then the other one comes.
Yeah.
But if those are the orange ones, then it'll just immediately follow instead of waiting for the block to become clear.
Yeah. Oh, right. Let's see what my score is now. Oh, 172. That, I think, is quite a jump from what it was. Can we name the signals blueberries? Orange ones, oranges and like blueberries, orange lemons. That would be incredibly confusing. Yes, let's do that. Right, so basically, learning how to do multi-threading correctly by playing with toy trains. Supposedly. it is kind of like programming in a way, isn't it? Let's change these there so that they are the free path signals, so that when it's free, we'll just go straight. Oh, hang on a minute. Is that the one it wants to be?
Yeah, that looks correct.
Yeah. And I think that is, maybe I could do like more loops and so forth, but I think based on the score and looking at the time, should we move on to, considering we've spent hours talking about various different things and playing around with level one, level two?
Cool, see another map.
should we go and have a quick look at level 3? Shall we?
Maybe let's see if how much faster it is with these orange signals.
Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to run this. I can't remember the exact score.
Oh, it shows how much better it is whenever you make an improvement.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
You see it immediately follows there, so there's like less latency for the trains to be replaced.
We don't like latency. So let's fast forward and 163.
And you see it there. It says better by 6,393.
All right.
And,
yep.
And then you can see that the infrastructure cost didn't change, but the time changed.
Yes.
That's the whole thing on the right-hand side there.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, in that case, we're going to go back to the world. Yep. And we will close this screen here. And we can see that we've got Cardiff and Bristol are both yellow now. Now, what has that unlocked? Another one?
Yeah. So right now, it's asking you to deliver goods on the world map. So,
I skipped past something. That happens with me. I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. I mean, in the interest of streaming, you probably don't want to read like all of these text things that pop up. But yeah, basically, you can now deliver goods on the world map to the cities Cardiff and Bristol, and so that will then unlock more things in the world map to be playable.
Right. Okay. So if I click Bristol, it says here, steel into Bristol. And then Cardiff, it says coal to Cardiff. So is that what I'm meant to be doing then? Is it? Oh.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go into Wales, get those coal mines going. So it's
so as well. Like if you like zoom out, you can see like the color of the mine. So I guess zoom in slightly more. Have the text next to the to the industries.
Oh, I
So the ones
see.
that are black are like turned off; they don't produce anything, and the ones that are white are usable.
Yeah, there we
And
go.
so they become usable by unlocking the region by completing the level there.
Yeah. So I'm going to build some track through Wales down to Cardiff. I need to remember to leave room for platforms. I'm not used to having to do that. The concept of being able to do a world map as well as undo, as well as local, and kind of go in to local bits and doing world bits, I think is really nice. I like that. There's
Yeah,
quite a few
thanks.
games that I kind of wish had like a one level out view where you could do stuff and then come back down in and connect things up.
So this my idea behind this sort of like two-level setup is because I want to have like individual levels that you're like optimizing. It's like a little puzzle, and you're like competing on the leaderboard. Um, but then it's also nice to have a bit of this like tycoon type of thing where you expand and you feel like you're making progress in some sort of larger sense. And so that's the idea basically behind the world map is that you get this like sense of empire building that you're spreading over the map, painting the map with your all your rails, but also having like each level be a focused optimization puzzle.
That's really good. I like that. I'm just kind of. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Let's get rid of those bits. I suppose I could have pressed the undo. I need to get more used to utilizing this
Also, if you
undo.
just draw over it, it just switches what the type is,
Yeah,
which is what happened in the first place for it to get messed up.
there we go. Give me a second. I just need to check one of the cameras. Let's see here. Just make sure my son isn't running amok. Oh, no, fast asleep. Good. That's what we like to see. Children exactly where they were supposed to be. Oh, I did it again. I didn't leave room for the platform.
That's all right. You just grab the track and move it.
Shit,
Oh, by the way, instead of grabbing the vertices, if you click the whole track, yeah, you can just move the whole thing.
yeah. It's one of
And you
those
can
things,
also
but
like multi-select by doing shift. Uh,
and
if you want to
presumably
move all the
dragging
things.
over things as well. There we go. Howard's chat doing. No need to bring wood. You can use the coal in the train. Oh, I didn't think about coal trains. I haven't had any. Have we got coal trains? Oh, is it
Yeah,
not
they're
something I have to
they're coal
unlock? It's
trains.
so you can use any of the trains, but the thing
Yep.
that's limiting you is whether you have the resource available. Ooh, okay. Right, let's try and delete all that. Oop. Oh, I like that. I'm a little bit disappointed about not bringing wood in. Never mind. Right. Let's get rid of these bits. Never mind. Yes, coal trains. There we go. Let's get a coal train going. So, how long is my platform? My platform is, I think, about 6. Get 4. Then we get one train going backwards and forwards. We've still got some partial bridges at Cardiff because I got rid of the platforms. That's my fault. There we go. Let's see what happens now if I unpause. So if I unpause, a train comes out, comes down, and it actually delivers. There we go. But that's only Cardiff. Bristol needs some stuff as well. You can see up here in the top right corner. Okay. What does Bristol want? I have to remind myself. Bristol wants steel. Okay. Well, there's a steel smelter down here. That makes sense. Right. We can either get limestone and coal and iron ore to make steel, or coal and iron ore to make steel. I don't think we have access to limestone. No, we do not have access to limestone. So that means I'm going to have to get some coal from the top up here. Oh. Okay. Right. This is going to be interesting then about how I design this. I'm going to start with the platforms. I think I'm going to have a strange shaped platform. I like strange shaped platforms. It seems to work well for me.
Yeah, it's nice. It's freeform. You can do whatever pleases you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I do have a problem of not being used to playing this game. It's still pretty fresh to me. I'm a complete noob at this game. I did the first deep dive, no, the first look video. And that was it. That was it. I had a look at it and I thought this is worth having a look at. And then I thought this is worth doing a live stream about. And then I thought, hang on, let's do a whole live stream series about games just like this.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you took a look.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember now. It was a while ago. You did reach out to me about it, didn't you?
Yeah, I had.
Yeah, to let me know. And I remember looking at it and thinking, okay, I'm gonna have a look at this at some point. I will definitely have a look at this. And I can't remember what I was doing at the time, but it was certainly challenging. Fitting in all sorts of stuff. Right. Let's fix my horrible mess of a coal mine. So I'm going to move this track over. How happy is the game about tracks that just cross?
It's okay if they're on the ground, but you should. Well, I guess since it's like just the depot and one train is coming out, it may not be an issue with things crashing, uh, but in a general sort of situation, you would want to put some signals to protect things from crashing into each other.
Yeah, that sounds like it would probably be a good idea.
But you can have tracks cross not at vertices, if that's the question. You can just have like an X crossing with no vertices.
Right.
Valid.
Just realised that I want to put. How close to the platform? How close to the industry does the platform has to be?
I'm not. Oh, for that to work, so you do need to have a platform that's adjacent to an interesting industry tile. So you can do that sort of setup that you have right there, but you will need to make a bridge go over the track.
There we go.
Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work. We can do this. Yeah. Now let's pump out 10 videos where the AI... There's no AI in this game. There's no computer-controlled player. You're playing against the simulation and the score of the simulation, and then that score against everybody else that's running that simulation as well. That's what you're doing in this one.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get another depot in.
Although the top player, like, he's got some ridiculously good solutions, so maybe he's an AI. I don't know.
Brandon says, how big can the station bridges be? Presumably, I think the bridges only go over one piece of track. Like, you can't have them go over a dual piece of track?
It can be an arbitrary shape for the footbridges.
Oh.
So it could be longer if you wanted. It could cross 2 tracks.
I want to see this now. I'm going to do it. I mean, I have no need to, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, right. So it's modular.
Yep.
Oh! Wow! You can actually make a whole, like, almost catenary. No, that's the wrong word.
Yeah, it does definitely give like that sort of impression of like those like industrial train stations and the arches.
Yeah. The Paddington Station comes to mind. Paddington Station in London comes to mind for that one. There we go. I only say that because I was there recently. I was there recently for an event. Yeah, it was called New Game Plus, and it was a nice event to go to. Actually, I enjoyed it, and I got to see lots of new games. that has been released, or that were going to be coming. Most of them were not in genre, though. Most of them are fun little puzzle games. There's a lot of little fun puzzle games. Yeah. DGX says, what's the station spread? I think what DGX means is, what's the maximum size of one station? I'm going to guess what the answer is. I'm going to guess there isn't a maximum, but the bigger the station and the further away it is from the industry, the longer the people are going to take to get there and back.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think that there is, I forget what the number is, there's some limit after which there's more of a penalty on the worker speed, which is, it's something like 15, 16 tiles or something. I don't actually remember the number, so I don't want to like misquote. But once it gets big enough, they start slowing down just to prevent if there's some sort of like really trying to cheese things by only using the worker walking.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure how necessary that really is.
Imagine just making a massive station on one side, a massive station on the other, and the smallest, tiniest train line between the two giant stations.
Yeah, exactly. So that sort of cheesing thing. But I don't think it would be useful anyhow, most likely.
Yeah.
Or it'd have to be an extremely limited scenario, in which case it would be useful. Because the worker walking speed is quite slow. And it still would need to go to a train. And the train does have to move to another station. So it's like the train has to move at least a train length.
Oh, yeah.
So it's you could construct something and it can theoretically kind of work, but it's not going to be optimal.
But it could potentially be hilarious. That's
Yeah. Make the workers really work.
yeah.
Not slacking.
No. What am I doing? I'm getting an iron ore train. Iron ore. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to have one train doing iron ore because it's a really short journey. Although I need a storage at this station for coal. Because the coal mine, like the other trains that I've got are coming from the coal mine. But I've got two little lines here that aren't coming from a coal mine. This is set to wood. I need to change it. Defaults to wood by the looks of it. There we go. Coal. So now we've got a silo for coal. We can get trains here, and we're taking steel. I think I'm nearly finished. I think because I'm doing one train things to start off with. One train lines. It's going to be one of those things where it works, but the score's going to be terrible, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing though is that in the world map, until actually you basically complete the game where every single region is unlocked, it doesn't even submit a score to the server. So you'd need to basically beat the game before you're even scored on the world map. So having an inefficient thing is just fine. And it's mainly that you might want to have something efficient just so that it doesn't take as long anytime you want to unlock a region. Because in order to unlock one of the cities in the world map, you need to deliver goods to all the other cities that have become unlocked already, and then deliver all the goods to the thing that you want to unlock. If that makes sense. So that means that you can't just like cheese it by only delivering goods to the city of interest that you want to unlock this time and everything would be left alone. No, you have to deliver everything everywhere.
And everything everywhere is what I'm trying to do right now, and it seems to be mostly working. Of course, I've got one train, one line for each individual resource, so there's very little here that could go wrong, but you never know. I could mess something up. Brandon says, oh my god, we can name trains. No, you don't name trains, you name routes. Okay, now technically there's one train on one route, so maybe you're kind of doing like that, but no, you name the route from the depot, right? I think there's other places we can do it, but there you go. And this is working.
Right.
This is working. Which is fantastic. And it's something we didn't even get to in the initial video, where we had a look to see, what the game was like. We didn't get into the use of coal trains. We didn't get into doing things in the world map. But that's kind of the point of the initial video. We want a first impressions, and I'm really liking the idea of this live stream extending that and diving deeper into the features and getting a real sense of the game. And it's been great to have you join me as well, to provide all these extra insights and also to point out where I've done everything wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Lotikia says over on Twitch, is this better than OpenTTD? It's different to OpenTTD. It's a different game. Okay, the track is built differently. The whole point of what you're trying to achieve is very different. The kind of setup and run simulation game loop is very different to OpenTTD. Completely different game. Now, the question, so the word better is always a terrible one. And whenever, let me try and get this out in one go. Whenever somebody says, is X better, I always have to say, define your better. Because if to you better is something, better to me might be something else. And you have to then measure that and be able to say what you think is better for that person. It certainly looks neat, right? Now, in this case, both games are free. So I would say that both of them are just brilliant. Because, you know, sometimes you rate how good something is according to its value, like how much value for money it is. But because you've got a zero in the calculation here, in terms of if you're trying to work out your value for money, then that zero means that both games are infinitely brilliant. Is that how zero works in those sorts of calculations? Wizard Brandon,
I think that's the perfect conclusion. Yeah, this game is infinitely good, and everybody should try it.
Yeah, everybody should try it. The only thing it will cost you is some time, and I'm sure we can all enjoy a bit of time sitting down and enjoying a game every now and then. Brandon says, "Is this going on the Fantastic Free Games list?" It certainly qualifies to go on the Fantastic Free Games list in that it is free, but of course it has to meet certain criteria for kind of like quality in terms of, you know, does it get regular updates, or, you know, is the game completely broken, that sort of thing. I can tell you now, it would qualify very easily. So yes, it should go on the Fantastic Free Games list.
Well, I better not break it, in case it would then get removed.
No. We're quite lenient with it. Like we've got so many different categories. For those of you who don't know, because there's some people that probably don't know, I run a separate project to Master Hellish called Fantastic Free Games. It's got a completely separate YouTube channel, completely separate website. Now, the YouTube channel isn't active yet, but the website has been built, and games have just started being added to the list. So obviously, like OpenTTD was one of the first, and we've got things. We've got other games on there as well, like Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. That game didn't used to be free, but back in 2010, it was released as a free game, even though it's not open source. So we are adding more and more games to that list all the time. It is very much a background project and a very slow project, but it is something that is happening. So if it's something you want to take into account, then it's, you know, you want to look at, go to fantasticfreegames.com. Right, are there perishables? Like an inefficient delivery might mean a loss of cargo. I don't think so, though. There isn't, is there?
That'll never happen.
No. You've obviously got refrigeration in the railways. That's the only possible explanation, isn't it? Let's fast forward this and see what happens. Okay, I didn't fail, and the score says world incomplete. So, like you were saying earlier, presumably you have to complete the entire world in order to submit your world score. But I finished this bit of the level. And
exactly.
I think I got a Steam achievement for that bit as well.
Awesome. And there have been some completions.
Yeah, 2 by the looks of it. 2 people so far, according to this, have completed the entire game.
Yeah, so it's easy to get into the top 5 leaderboard right now.
Yeah. Chat says, do you need an internet connection to play? If so, it isn't really free. I think it would work without. It's just you wouldn't be able to see the scores.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll run without the server. which also is good in case the server crashes. You can still play it, and just if you want the score to show up in the high scores, you would need to have an internet connection and rerun the level, and it will then submit it.
Yeah. There we go. We've got unlocked stuff as well. You've met Bristol's delivery needs. Okay, so now let me have a look. Let me zoom out. What we got? What's unlocked? Can I notice? What have I managed to unlock here? Well, it doesn't look like I've unlocked a major city. I don't think. Did I did complete.
There's Birmingham is now shown in red.
Ah, right. So that's the newly unlocked place. There we go. So we can enter that level and have a closer look at that. And let's enter there. Oh my! All right. So we've got a bit of information here about routing. So we've kind of been doing some
But
routing.
you already know all of that.
Yes, and now it's now showing us all about it. That join Discord button new?
Yeah,
I feel
that'll. Oh, it's new? No, it existed before.
Ah, right. Okay.
So direct you to join.
Oh,
Discord.
I'm
My
getting an
Discord server.
advert for YouTube, which is because it's through the Steam player rather than the YouTube. Because then that's what's happening there. Never mind. You can go and watch the videos and stuff. Yeah, Birmingham is now playable. Exactly. And this, oh my goodness, Birmingham's a big place. Birmingham's a big place, and we can see here that you need both meat and bread for completion. And there's a butcher, which presumably produces meat. Let's have a look. Yes, it produces meat and leather, depending on whether you deliver a cow or sheep or some steel as well. Presumably needs to be able to cut stuff. Yeah. And there's forests, presumably where you could use forests for fuel for wood, but also there's a coal mine there as well. And there's a flour mill where we can make wheat into flour. And then a bakery. So now we're getting bigger supply chains. Let me see if I can go into drawing mode. Drawing mode sometimes doesn't work for every single scene, but let's see what happens here. Draw. Yeah, I think it worked. Okay, so presumably the cow pasture would go into the oh no, that's... Is it not working? Oh, it didn't. Drawing mode is not working. Okay. Yeah, there are some things that drawing mode won't work with. Sometimes if it's full screen. Let me just try and come back and go to the game again. Is the game showing? Oh, I've lost the game in stream. Oh no, wait, there it is. Sometimes OBS just takes a minute to realise that I've got a game that I need to show. And then if we go to drawing mode, now we're in window mode, I think it might work. Sometimes just with some full screen things, it doesn't work. So, you won't see this on the Discord, but on the stream, I'm guessing it's cow pasture to butcher, butcher to town, bakery to town, flour mill to bakery. No, I did that the wrong way around. There we go. And then wheat field... Oh, no. Wheat fields to flour mill. And then we're going to need a coal mine to power it all. And another cow pasture to the butcher there. And then potentially another wheat field to the flour mill. And then that's kind of the resource plan for this particular level by the looks of it. There we go.
Yes.
Plus
Except
fuel.
that you can have more efficient recipes. So if you deliver coal to a flour mill, for example, that's sort of like an optional thing that will produce more flour.
I'll do a dotted line for that. Now, presumably, like you'd have to be careful about how much coal you delivered and whether you had any coal for your trains or not. There are forests about, though, which is...
Yeah, and so you can, if you're using too much coal, you can deliver wood from a forest to boost the coal mine as well. You can... it probably won't be an issue, but you can deliver wheat to a cow pasture to produce more cow products. And I think that one thing that you're missing is the bakery also needs wood. So that's a requirement.
Oh, the bakery needs wood. Okay, so the bakery needs wood from a forest. Forest can go to a coal mine to boost the coal mine. The coal mine can go to a flour mill, but also needs to go to pretty much everywhere for fuel. There we go. So that's kind of the flow for that one. It's pretty cool, that, isn't it? I'm really enjoying that. There we go. Right, now, we're going to be closing the call off in a few minutes. So, chat, for those of you who are watching, now is the time for your final questions. So fling your questions in. Just as you're doing that, I just want to say thank you very much for not only, sharing your game with us, but putting this immense passion project out there for free for people to be able to, go check out and enjoy, and also, for getting in touch and letting me know all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I hope that people try out the game and have some fun with it. I do have some other improvements like planned to make it a little bit easier to edit the levels, for example. And I've been getting feedback from people. So, for example, being able to like copy sections of tracks and platforms and paste them and potentially store them as blueprints that are reusable would be helpful for building out initial solutions to levels faster, for example.
Yep.
So that's like some feedback that I had gotten. Yeah, so I intend to continue doing some updates to the game for a while to get things tip top.
And one of the things that people sometimes ask when we get to a situation where a game comes out in V1 and updates are planned to it, people always want to know, is there a different future project in mind?
Do I plan on working on a different game like after this? Is what you mean?
Yes, essentially, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I'd like to do some different things, which would be in probably an entirely different genre from this one. So yeah, I do intend to do some other stuff, and do at the moment, like there's been this surge of interest, and I really wasn't sure when I released if anybody would play it at all, and I'd just be like, okay, done with this, move on to the next thing. But people have been interested, and so I'm trying to improve things and support the game as well as I can. But eventually, I would like to continue on a different project.
Sounds good. And I'm sure we'll be all interested to know what that is when you're ready to tell us. We've got some more questions in the chat here. Is it better to have wood trains or coal trains? I'm going to assume that the answer would be like coal is going to be better than wood and oil is going to be better than coal for some reason.
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on your situation, right? So the coal trains are basically faster, and the oil trains are faster yet. I think they all have the same acceleration, but it changes what their top speed is. So what's better? I mean, it's good to have something that's faster, but it's harder to distribute the fuel to it potentially over long distance. So it might be better to have a, a wood train because of the fuel being more easily accessible, for example.
Yep.
Or also, if the fuel is used as an input to an industry, it may be more important to use the fuel for that than as fuel for a train. So there's sort of trade-offs. And I think the answer to a lot of questions is like, what's the best way to design a station? Well, it depends. Do you need something with like really high throughput, or is it okay to have something with lower throughput that doesn't require as much infrastructure to build? Like with the, you saw in the example of having like the queuing, like extra track, but that costs extra track. So is that always worth it? Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, and I like that when the answer is it depends. I like that. There's a lot of games that I play where people ask, "Oh, should I do this or should I do that?" And if the answer is it depends, it's a good game. It's a good game because if there's just one straightforward answer, where's the mystery? Where's the mystery in solving it? Hey, where's
Uh,
the satisfaction in overcoming the mysteries?
exactly. So that's like the principle I've had in like trying to balance things is to make it so that there's very seldom like this is the answer.
Hmm.
That, you know, should I use a bridge or use a flat junction? Well, how much traffic do you have? There's just like a bunch of things where you have to like make uh, decisions on things that have like different trade-offs. And something that was actually just posted, I think, in my Discord today was uh, I don't remember if it was Birmingham or Manchester, but one of the levels where I think it may have been Birmingham, where the like nearly optimal solution, like within a few hundred in terms of the score, had like entirely different uh, ratios of industry versus time spent. So using lots of industry to like make it as fast as possible versus having minimal industry and taking a little bit longer, and they wound up like with nearly the same score. So that's like a pretty interesting situation where there's not even like it's sort of like another step beyond where there are multiple minima that are like pretty close to each other in value, and it's unclear what's the best.
Yeah, and that mystery is what helps the game be interesting, isn't it? We've got a question here that does this game or will it ever have mod support? I'm not sure why you would want to, but it's a question nonetheless, I guess.
So I've thought about this a little bit, and I'm leaning towards like maybe some sort of version if there's like enough people, a community of people who are actually playing it, um, that it becomes worthwhile, that people exhaust, their interest in the solutions, like the levels that already exist. And it's like, okay, we want some like more things. Um, then yeah, sure. If there's enough people, I might do something like that.
Yeah, and there has to be the demand to be worth the effort, doesn't it, for things like that? We've also got a few messages of thanks from people in chat. And then we've also got a message. Brandon says, "Is there a way to know the ratios for industries, or is it trial and error?" So from what I understand, the kind of input output ratios are listed depending on what's going in and out when you click on the industry, and we did see that earlier on.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we use the butcher as an example, you can see that 1 steel and 2 cows will give you 2 meat and 2 leather. Don't just give OBS a second to catch up. It will catch up, don't worry. And just double checking OBS is actually paying attention. There we go. I don't know why it took so long to realise what I was doing, but it's here. Or you can put 4 cows in and get 2 meat and 2 leather that way. So
Yeah, exactly.
those
So
are the
at
ratios.
the
It's up
top
to you
is
to
like
figure it out.
generally the thing that's listed at the top of the list is the most efficient solution or the most efficient recipe that requires more inputs. And then down further is less efficient, but simpler to set up.
Yeah, yeah. You need just more of it going in. So there we go. Well, yeah. Once again, we're not gonna play this level right now. As much as I'd love to, we are unfortunately pretty much out of time. But I will say thank you very much once again for joining. And if you want to see more of this game, maybe it's going to be come back round again. I mean, for now, we've done the initial investigation through the video, and we've done the deeper dive in the live stream. So that kind of completes the initial plan for it. But I'm certainly interested to play it more, and if you guys want to see more, let me know. Make sure you like the stream and all that sort of stuff so that I know that you're enjoying it. And join me next week for another game from this series. But for tonight, that's going to be all. Remember, folks... Oh, no, wait. No, wait. We do have one more thing. We need to talk about the charity thing that's happening. So more information about the charity, what they do, and how that all works is going to be in future streams throughout the month. It's a month-long charity thing that we're doing. But tonight is more of announcing that we're starting it, right? So I'm calling it Main for Mind. Mind is the charity we're raising money for, and we've got a Just Giving page for people to donate to throughout the month of May if they choose to do so. And before we end the stream, and I did say we'd do it at some point, we're going to go and have a look at the donations, and I'll just quickly read them out. So Rastus Gaming says, has donated €10 and said, hope this will start the snowball for lots of funds for a great cause. Then we've had Oblong6, a great charity, happy to support. £5 has been donated there, and Francis has said, I'll get it started, and has donated £10 as well. So far this month we've raised £24 through this fundraiser, and this is day one of however many days there are in this month. So thank you very much for that. And like I say, throughout the month in these streams, we'll be nipping to this scene and just talking a little bit about the charity, a little bit about what they do, and maybe just talking a little bit about mental health and well-being in general as well. Okay, I did mean to do this towards the middle, but we had a guest tonight, so I pushed it towards the end. So again, thank you very much to everybody for their support, and thank you very much for joining. If you want to check out the game, it is out on Steam and it is free. So just go and give it a go. Have a look, have a play around, figure it out, enjoy. That's all for tonight. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. And what was it? Oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got an OpenTTD video coming out. Don't forget that. OpenTTD Season 13, Episode 1. It's going to be quite a corker. It is, I'll tell you now, it's a big one in more than one way. So you enjoy that video, folks.